Chapter 759. As soon as the divine diagram appeared, it shone brightly in all directions, causing the entire sky to shake. It was as if the heaven-splitting sacred diagram had appeared. What is this? Whooshing Crocodile widened his eyes. The divine diagram that Lin Tian was holding up at this moment was too powerful, as if it could suppress heaven and earth. Bai Qiu also stared with wide eyes. It's even stronger than my bright starry sky moon, even stronger than Big Brother's Thunder God sword draw. What kind of technique is this? Staring at Lin Tian's divine diagram, she was also extremely shocked. Only Bai Ziqi's eyes flashed as he stared straight at Lin Tian. He was the only person here who knew that Lin Tian was a reincarnation physique. He also knew that Lin Tian was holding up the King's Territory reincarnation diagram. At this moment, the reincarnation diagram that Lin Tian was holding up was much more powerful than when he saw it in the Bai family's divine territory. It was completely different. Lin Tian looked at Bai Ziqi and nodded slightly. Then, he looked at the Sea Clan Great Elder, who was rolling in the void and howling in pain. Kill! He spat out this one word. With a boom, the reincarnation diagram behind him shone brightly and pressed down on the Sea Clan Great Elder. Slash! Bai Ziqi's expression was cold. With a clang, in the divine roar palace behind him, the thunder sword in Lei Ying's hand pressed down, splitting the void. On the other side, the starry moon that Bai Qiu held up also pressed forward. The starry sky covered everything, and the moon pressed down like a meteorite, crushing the space. Boom! Divine light surged and directly drowned the place. Without a doubt, this was an unparalleled attack. The three kings' physiques displayed the strongest king's territory. That kind of power was no joke. It almost caused the island to crack, and it directly enveloped the Sea Clan Great Elder. With a poof, the scream disappeared. The Sea Clan Great Elder was directly crushed, and his divine soul was also annihilated. When the smoke and dust dissipated, there were still shocking destructive waves intertwined at that location, and spatial turbulence wantonly appeared. A ninth firmament great Tao expert had been killed by 3 people. Whooshing Crocodile was surprised. These 3 guys are really scary. Although the great elder of the sea tribe was heavily injured by the demonized middle-aged man's demonic aura, the might displayed by Lin Tian and the other 2 still shocked him deeply. With this level of cultivation, they were really too powerful. This was especially so for Lin Tian. The reincarnation diagram that he propped up just now still made its heart thump. It was too vast. It looked at Lin Tian. Brat, what kind of supernatural power did you use just now? That's right, what kind of technique is that? So powerful. Bai Qiu asked. She knew that Lin Tian was very powerful, but the reincarnation diagram that Lin Tian displayed just now shocked her even more. Lin Tian glanced at Bai Ziqi and smiled. It's a secret. The reincarnation diagram could only be seen by dead people and heavenly venerable rank powerhouses. Whooshing Crocodile and Bai Qiu naturally couldn't detect it. Whooshing Crocodile rolled its eyes. Bai Qiu said angrily, "Another secret. You're hiding everything from me. I don't want to talk to you anymore." Bai Qiu, stop fooling around, Bai Ziqi said. Bai Qiu stared. Her brother had always disliked Lin Tian, but now he was actually speaking up for Lin Tian. Ah! Kill! 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 Ha! Die! All of you die! Ghosts! Don't come over! Get lost! Get lost! Screams, laughter, panic, and all kinds of emotional fluctuations came from outside the island. Over there, the group of sea tribe cultivators still couldn't break free from the demonized middle-aged man's demonic aura and were in a mess. Lin Tian glanced at Sea King Island with a serious expression. Let's go. Leave this place immediately. Bai Ziqi and Bai Qiu nodded. Whooshing Crocodile shrunk its monster body and lay on Lin Tian's head again. Lin Tian stepped forward and flew into the distance. As soon as he took a step, his body trembled slightly and he coughed out a mouthful of blood. Bai Qiu's expression changed. She asked worriedly, "What happened to you?" "It's nothing." I just suffered a little shock. It's nothing serious. Lin Tian. He had just charged at the Sea Tribe's Grand Elder of the Ninth Heaven of the Great Path and threw out the sealed, demonized middle-aged man. He had also suffered some backlash from the Sea Tribe's Grand Elder's palm power. His injuries weren't too serious, but they weren't too light either. Let's find a place to heal first. Bai Ziki said. Lin Tian nodded. The three people and one crocodile were very fast. In the blink of an eye, they had traveled far away and disappeared into the horizon. In the blink of an eye, an hour had passed. At the outer edge of the island where Lin Tian and the others were fighting, the Sea Tribe cultivators were still immersed in the demonic interference. More than half of them had died, and their blood dyed the sea red. It was also at this moment that the sound of something breaking through the air came from not far away. In the Sea Tribe, other Great Path powerhouses sensed that the auras of their Holy Sun and the three Supreme Elders had disappeared. They also sensed that the aura of the first Supreme Elder, who had chased after them, had also disappeared. They were a little flustered. Therefore, another three Great Path powerhouses rushed here. The auras outside their bodies were very shocking. These three Great Path powerhouses were naturally the Supreme Elders of the Sea Tribe. When they saw this scene, all of their expressions changed. Then, in an instant, the three powerhouses saw that these Sea Tribe cultivators had fallen into an illusion. "Wake up, all of you!" One of them roared. The power of his divine sense was contained in the sound waves, causing the confused Sea Tribe cultivators to tremble. Their eyes gradually became clear. This group of Sea Tribe cultivators who were still alive was in a daze. They looked around. The seawater where they stood was dyed red with blood. Someone was holding a blood-stained saber in his hand that was stained with the blood of his clansmen. His face instantly turned pale, and he threw away the saber in his hand. The hand that was holding the saber couldn't help but tremble. What's going on? This group of cultivators was terrified. The three Supreme Elders of the Sea Tribe who had rushed here were furious. They roared, "All of you quiet down. What happened here?" Hearing this, the group of Sea Tribe cultivators trembled. After a while, these Sea Tribe cultivators' expressions changed again. Someone trembled and said, the saint was killed. The three Supreme Elders who came first were also killed. The Great Elder. This Sea Tribe cultivator couldn't continue. Before he lost consciousness, he only saw the Great Elder suffering and screaming in the void. He didn't know what happened after that. But even so, at this time, the Great Elder was nowhere to be seen. Instead, he saw the other Supreme Elders of his lineage rushing over. This Sea Tribe cultivator vaguely guessed something, and his face became even paler. Who did it? Among the three Supreme Elders of the Sea Tribe, one of them roared. His killing intent surged, causing the surface of the sea to boil. Such might cause the surviving oceanic species cultivators to tremble in fear. Someone trembled and said, It's that pair of siblings. They really came out of the valley of no return. There's also a powerful crocodile demon, and that man in the recent rumors." Immediately, this person trembled as he recounted what he saw. He spoke intermittently, but it was very detailed. The three Supreme Elders of the Sea Tribe's faces became extremely ferocious. Their eyes were bloodshot, and they were as frightening as ghosts. "Bastards!" One of them roared angrily. Their generation's paragon-level genius holy sons, one at the third firmament of the Great Tao, two at the second firmament of the Great Tao, and one at the ninth firmament of the Great Tao, had died here, within the territory of their own clan. How humiliating was this? What kind of loss was this? Damn it! Kill! We must kill them. Angry roars intertwined in this space, stirring up violent winds and stormy waves. After Lin Tian and the others stepped out of the island, they were far away from the territory of the Sea Tribe. Not long after, they walked out of the vast ocean and entered a remote old mountain. Lin Tian found a secluded place inside. Bai Ziki, Bai Chiu, and Wuxing Crocodile stood guard. He spent about 6 hours to completely recover from his previous injuries. This time, those little bastards from the Sea clan should be so angry that they're crying. A holy son and 3 grand elders are dead, and there's even a 9th firmament great Tao cultivator among them. Such losses are really TSK. Whooshing Crocodile shook his head and said, "Serves them right." Bai Chio snorted. The Sea tribe had almost killed her and her brother. Naturally, she was not happy about this bloodline. Lin Tian smiled and stood up from the ground. He stretched his legs and bones and felt that his essence, energy, and spirit had become stronger. "That's right." Bai Chio looked at Lin Tian and asked with concern, "I heard from the Sea tribe that you were being pursued by the Ant tribe, Insect tribe, Blood Wolf tribe, Bone tribe, and Stone God tribe. What's going on?" These large tribes are all top tribes in this heavenly realm. Especially the Stone God tribe, they are one of the top forces in this heavenly realm. Although the siblings had kept a low profile after coming to this heavenly realm, they were very clear about the situation in this heavenly realm. At the side, Baiziki also looked at Lin Tian with confusion. The Ant tribe, Blood Wolf tribe, Dark Shadow tribe, Bone tribe, Witch tribe, and Stone God tribe. These young paragons and saints of these large tribes provoked me for no reason and were all killed by me. Naturally, these large tribes could not sit still, he said casually. Then his expression became slightly gloomy. He looked at Bai Chio and said, "As for the Insect tribe," he paused and continued, "You stayed in an ordinary village before. That village, do you still remember?" Yes. Of course I remember. My brother and I dug up a lunar origin stone there. I used that lunar origin stone to cultivate, and my cultivation improved a lot after that. There was a group of little fellows in the village. They were all very interesting. I taught them a set of our by family's basic fist techniques. They chased after me all day and called me master. Also, little AI was the cutest. She stuck to me all day. Before I left, I gave her my personal jade. It can nourish her body and blood. I want to wait until she is a little older before I come back to teach her real techniques and take her on the path of cultivation. Bai Chio was excited when he mentioned that small village. Then he seemed to have thought of something and looked at Lin Tian in surprise. How do you know? You been there?" Seeing Bai Chio so excited, Lin Tian's eyes dimmed. That place is no longer there. The people in the village were all killed by the Insect tribe. Chapter 760. Listening to Lin Tian's words, the excitement on Bai Chio's face suddenly disappeared. He was stunned, and the smile on his face became a little stiff. What are you talking about? How could they all be dead? Don't say such things, it's not good at all." Lin Tian opened his mouth, wanting to say something, but he didn't know what to say. Baiziki frowned and looked at Lin Tian. "Are you sure?" Lin Tian nodded. "Therefore, I slaughtered more than 20 branches of the insect race in succession, killed their young supreme beings, killed their 3 supreme elders, and seized their most powerful Tao weapons," he said in a low voice. Baiziki frowned even tighter. He turned his head and looked at his sister next to him. "Then what about those children?" Bai Chio asked Lin Tian. Lin Tian was silent. What can he say? Bai Chio's voice trembled slightly. "What about little AI?" Lin Tian's face was even more gloomy, and he clenched his fists. As Bai Chio mentioned, little AI was the cutest. When he was in the small village, the little girl always stuck to him. However, in the end, he couldn't save the cute little girl. The little girl was only 5 years old. Bai Chio's body trembled slightly. Obviously, he understood Lin Tian's silence. His eyes were wet. Baiziki wanted to comfort Bai Chio, but he didn't know how to comfort him. He naturally knew that his younger sister liked those little fellows in the village very much. She liked the little girl called Little AI even more. When they parted, she gave the precious jade that she had worn for more than 10 years to the little girl. But now, those little fellows were gone, and little AI was also dead. Lin Tian also felt uncomfortable. He felt very depressed. "I buried the villagers in the mountains outside the village. Little AI is also there," he said. "The fourth heaven is very vast." On this day, the weather was slightly gloomy. Thin clouds covered the scorching sun, and Lin Tian and the others were in a bad mood. On this day, 3 people and 1 alligator appeared in an old forest on a green mountain. The green mountain was very ordinary. The air was clear, but the spiritual energy wasn't dense. Ahead of them, a small tomb lay horizontally, bleak and desolate. These small tombs were the tombs of the villagers of the small village. They had been erected by Lin Tian, and now they had returned to this place. Bai Chio squatted at the front and looked at little Ai's small grave. His tears fell uncontrollably. She liked that little girl the most. She had planned to personally teach the little girl the true grand arts after she became stronger and the little girl grew up. It wouldn't even be a problem for her to bring the little girl back to the clan. But now little Ai was no longer here. She was only 5 years old. How could this be? She choked with sobs. Lin Tian stood next to him, and Bai Ziki stood next to him. This isn't over, Bai Ziki said. He had always been a calm person, but now that he had said those words, it was obvious that he was very angry. At this time, looking at this group of small graves and seeing his sister crying so sadly, killing intent naturally intertwined in his heart. Finish my ass. Let's slaughter these curs. Whooshing crocodile cursed. Lin Tian took a deep breath, and a murderous light flickered in his eyes. He said in a deep voice, previously, I've killed more than 20 branch tribes of this bloodline in succession. Now all of their branch tribes have gathered together and moved to the central main tribe. There's a Wuxian realm powerhouse guarding there. With our current strength, we can't directly kill our way into the central main tribe. Bai Ziki's eyes were cold. We'll think about it at length. The 3 people and 1 crocodile stayed here for a long time before they left. Not long after, they appeared on a main road. Bai Chio's mood was very low. Lin Tian and Bai Ziki wanted to comfort her, but in the end, they didn't say anything. This road was very wide. There were cultivators walking by in the distance, and their vitality was not weak. It's too bloody. More than 200 people were all killed. Their flesh and blood were all eaten clean. It's really, the insect race has really gone crazy. They're really willing to do anything to force that ruthless person out. The young supreme being was slaughtered. 3 supreme elders were killed. Their strongest Tao weapon was taken away, and more than 20 branch tribes were slaughtered. Not long ago, 4 great path powerhouses died. It would be strange if they didn't go crazy. They deserve it. This bloodline is disgusting. It's best if they're all dead. However, speaking of which, why did this bloodline suddenly kill their way to that small barbarian tribe? What does that place have to do with that ruthless person? I heard that there's a young barbarian in that small tribe. This barbarian once traveled with that ruthless person and seems to be that ruthless person's friend. The insect race obviously wants to capture this barbarian to threaten that ruthless person into submission. That's a small branch tribe of the barbarian race. Aren't the insect race afraid that the main tribe of the barbarian race will start a war with them? There are more than 200 people and more than 70 families. They're far from the main tribe of the barbarian race. Their strength is very average. This is far from being a qualified branch tribe. It's more like an ordinary village. It's too insignificant. The main tribe of the barbarian race probably won't start a war with the insect race for such an ordinary branch tribe. After all, a war between large tribes is no joke. After all, the barbarian race's strength is slightly weaker than the other large tribes. Among the large tribes, it seems that this bloodline is the only one without a young supreme being. The insect race should be aware of this, which is why they dare to be so unscrupulous and directly slaughter that place. Sigh. The group of cultivators discussed softly, and some sighed. At this time, Lin Tian and the others were still quite far away from this group of cultivators. However, the cultivation of this group of people was very strong. Naturally, this group of cultivators heard all the words of this group of cultivators without missing a word. Instantly, Lin Tian's expression changed. Kid, this has something to do with you? Whooshing Crocodile was slightly stunned. Bai Ziki's expression changed. Even the depressed Bai Chio's expression changed. They all looked at Lin Tian. Lin Tian was shocked and anxious. At this time, he didn't say a word. He took a step forward and instantly appeared in front of the group of cultivators in the distance. He directly grabbed one of them and said, "What did you say just now? What happened to that barbarian race branch tribe?" When he first came to this heavenly realm, he stayed in a small barbarian race branch tribe for a night. There, he met Fanning Xiong. Fanning Xiong was simple and honest. They went through a relic together. How could he not be anxious when he heard this now? You are? Naturally, the cultivators there were able to recognize Lin Tian as the recently rumored ruthless character. Their faces sank. That was especially true of the young cultivator that Lin Tian had captured. His face turned pale, and he nearly fainted on the spot. "Speak!" Lin Tian roared in a low voice. This young cultivator trembled with fear and told him about the small barbarian race branch tribe being slaughtered by the insect race. When did this happen? This young cultivator couldn't stop trembling. "No, not long ago, just 5-10 hours ago." Fanning Xiong, "Where is that young barbarian?" "I don't know. I think he saved his life with the help of other barbarian race members." "No, I don't know where he went. There are insect race experts chasing after him." This young cultivator was trembling. Lin Tian was shocked and angry. He pushed this young cultivator away and didn't have time to say anything to Bai Ziki and Bai Chiu. Golden light shone out of his body and streaked across the sky like a bolt of golden lightning, rushing toward the small barbarian race branch tribe. Bai Ziki's face darkened. He and Bai Chiu stepped out together and chased after Lin Tian. Lin Tian was very fast. Bai Ziki and Bai Chiu weren't much slower. They traveled at top speed. After crossing dozens of large mountains and old forests, they appeared in a relatively remote mountain range. The spirit chi here was relatively abundant, and there were plenty of plants. They could vaguely hear the roars of beasts, and the thick smell of blood floated in the air. Lin Tian walked for dozens of feet and soon stopped. In front of them was a very small branch tribe. There were dozens of stone houses here, but at this moment, the stone houses were all in ruins. The ground was covered in bright red blood, and there were eerie white bones. The flesh and blood had been gnawed away. It was a ghastly sight, and it made one shiver at the sight of it. Lin Tian's eyes were filled with hostility, and his killing intent was as deep as the sea. He had stayed here for a night, and the barbarians here had warmly welcomed him. Although it was because he had saved the lives of a few people of this small tribe, but the barbarians here were all very generous, which made him have a good impression on them. But now, because of him, this small branch tribe of the barbarians had been slaughtered to the point that they died in such a miserable manner. The honest Fanning Xiong was missing, and he didn't know whether he was dead or alive. This made him shocked and angry. Bai Ziki looked ahead and frowned. Bai Chiu's face was also very unpleasant. The ordinary village there had been destroyed by the insect tribe, and now, this small branch tribe of the barbarians that was related to Lin Tian had been slaughtered by the insect tribe. This made her sad and angry. Boom! At this moment, a shocking wave of divine power suddenly came from afar. Dozens of figures rushed over, either holding stone clubs or wolf hammers. They were all filled with murderous intent, and their auras were very strong. Especially the three people at the front. Although they had beards and looked like old men, the waves of blood chi were very shocking. They were like savage beasts, and in the blink of an eye, they had crossed over to this place. The three people and one alligator turned their heads at the same time, looking at the newcomers with vigilance. Among this group of people, many of them were wearing animal skins, exposing their bare arms. Their muscles were very strong and shocking. The hostility in Lin Tian's eyes dissipated. He looked at the newcomers, and his gaze fell on the three people at the front. Barbarian seniors? These dozens of figures were indeed barbarian cultivators. After rushing here and seeing Lin Tian, they were all shocked. Now, Lin Tian's name had already spread throughout the fourth heaven. These barbarian cultivators naturally recognized Lin Tian. Moreover, they rushed here after hearing that a small branch tribe had suffered a disaster. They also knew that Lin Tian was related to this place. "It's you!" The three old men in the lead stared at Lin Tian, all of them exuding Tao law fluctuations. They were three great Dao realm powerhouses. Lin Tian could feel the strength of the three people. He opened his mouth and said, "I'm sorry, because of me, this place." If it weren't for him, the barbarian branch tribe here wouldn't have suffered such a disaster. The three old men glanced at the blood-stained small branch tribe here, and their expressions were naturally ugly. Finally, their eyes fell on Lin Tian. "Hero, that child, mentioned you to us several times. Back then, you saved the lives of several people here. We all know about it. We can't blame you for this." Behind the three old men, dozens of figures looked around at the small branch tribe here. All of them were filled with killing intent, and they were incomparably angry. Damn those bugs. Everyone was furious. Chapter 761. Lin Tian was very worried about Fan Xiong and was very anxious. However, when he heard the words of the burly barbarian, he couldn't help but be shocked. The three old men in front of him were the barbarian tribe's chief and the two supreme elders of this lineage. Their lineup was really impressive. The words of the burly barbarian revealed Fan Xiong's importance to the barbarian tribe. He was the hope of this generation of the barbarian tribe. This moved him. It seemed that Fan Xiong's identity in the barbarian tribe was very extraordinary. Hearing the burly barbarian's words, the barbarian tribe's chief and the two supreme elders were moved. They also reacted. "Yes, find the hero. Let's find the hero first." The barbarian tribe's chief bared half of his chest. He was wearing a gray ancient beast armor, and his vitality was very strong. Beside him, the two supreme elders of this lineage also nodded. Although they were incomparably furious after seeing their dead tribesmen, at this moment, Fan Xiong might still be alive. Their thoughts all fell on Fan Xiong. "I'll go too." Lin Tian stepped forward and said. Although they had only known each other for a short time, Fan Xiong was very honest. They were already friends. Now that his friend had gone missing and his whereabouts were unknown, he was naturally very anxious. The barbarian tribe's chief and the two supreme elders looked at Lin Tian. Among them, the barbarian tribe's chief said, "Thank you, little brother. Senior, you're too polite. This is my responsibility." Lin Tian shook his head. "Little brother, you don't have to blame yourself. Hero has returned to the central main tribe several times. Every time, he would mention you to us. We also know some of your recent deeds. Us old fellows are very happy that Hero has a friend like you." One of the supreme elders of the barbarian tribe who came here said. The barbarian tribe was heroic and honest by nature. Lin Tian had slaughtered more than 20 branch tribes of the insect race in anger for an ordinary village, making an enemy of the entire insect race alone. The barbarian tribe naturally liked such a righteous person and had a good impression of him. Lin Tian nodded and didn't say anything else. "We'll help too," Bai Ziki said. Bai Chio was depressed because of AI's death and the disappearance of the small village. Now that Lin Tian's friend was in trouble, he felt even worse. He also nodded to the barbarian tribe leader and the two Taishang elders to help find Fan Xiong's whereabouts. The barbarian tribe patriarch and the two grand elders cupped their fists towards Bai Ziki and Bai Chio. "This old man thanks you in advance." "Patriarch, elder, let's move quickly," a barbarian cultivator asked. The tribe leader of the Berserker tribe and the two Grand Supreme Elders nodded one after another. They exchanged glances with Lin Tian and the others, then swept their gazes over the small branch of the Berserker tribe that was dyed red by blood. In the end, they left in different directions at an incredibly fast speed. Lin Tian imprinted Fan Xiong's appearance into the sea of consciousness of Bai Ziki, Bai Chio, and Wuxing Crocodile. The three of them and the crocodile worked together and spread out their powerful divine senses, searching for traces of Fan Xiong while moving quickly. In the blink of an eye, 5 days passed. In these 5 days, the three of them and the crocodile had traveled to many places. In order not to attract the attention of the Blood Wolf tribe and other cultivators while searching for Fan Xiong, Lin Tian even used a special technique to conceal his true appearance. However, in the end, he did not find anything. Lin Tian's expression did not look good. His sea of consciousness was boiling. and his powerful divine senses were comparable to that of a cultivator of the Great Path, extending in all directions. In the blink of an eye, another 2 days passed. After a full 7 days, they still could not find any trace of Fanning Xiong. On this day, the three of them and the crocodile returned and met up with the barbarian tribe patriarch, the 2 grand elders, and some other barbarian cultivators in the small branch of the berserker tribe that had been slaughtered. This was the time they had agreed upon when they had split up to search for Fanning Xiong. They would reunite in the small branch after 7 days, because someone might have found Fanning Xiong within these 7 days. This way, they could inform the others who were searching in time. Even if they did not find Fanning Xiong, they would need to exchange information in time. "How is it?" Lin Tian asked. "No clues. We can't find him." The barbarian tribe patriarch shook his head. "What about you?" Lin Tian was silent and shook his head. "Tribe patriarch, we can't find him. We can't find any trace of the hero." "We can't find him either." The group of barbarian cultivators shook their heads. The barbarian tribe patriarch and the 2 grand supreme elders looked disappointed, and they clenched their fists. Dawn! At this time, the mountain range near the small branch of the berserker tribe suddenly shook, and densely packed figures appeared. There were about a few hundred of them, and they rushed over like a torrent. All of them were roaring loudly. Among this group of figures, 2 old men with messy hair walked at the forefront. They looked like old savages in the barren mountains, but the aura surrounding their bodies was very shocking. The blood and chi they exuded were as strong as ancient beasts, and there were Tao law fluctuations intertwined. In the blink of an eye, this group of figures rushed over. Second Grand Supreme Elder, Third Supreme Elder, the barbarian tribe patriarch greeted them. The 2 old men with messy hair walked over and glanced at the small branch covered in blood. They nodded at the barbarian tribe patriarch and the other 2 Grand Supreme Elders, and their eyes suddenly fell on Lin Tian. Little brother Lin Tian? Fanning Xiong had returned to the main tribe of the barbarian tribe several times and mentioned Lin Tian. Some of the big figures of the barbarian tribe naturally knew Lin Tian's name. Lin Tian nodded and then said, "Greetings, seniors. It's really you. The hero has mentioned you to us several times." The 2nd and 3rd Supreme Elders of the barbarian tribe nodded at Lin Tian, and then looked at the barbarian tribe patriarch and the other 2 Grand Supreme Elders. Among them, the 2nd Supreme Elder asked, "How is it? Our clansmen are in trouble. We heard that the hero is still alive, so the Grand Supreme Elder asked us to come out of seclusion and come here. Have you found the hero?" The barbarian tribe patriarch and the other 2 Grand Supreme Elders shook their heads, and the other barbarian cultivators looked pale. "We've been looking for him for 7 days, but there's no clue," the barbarian tribe patriarch said. The 2nd Supreme Elder of the barbarian tribe had an ugly expression, while the 3rd Supreme Elder straightened his eyes and glared at the barbarian tribe patriarch. "What did we tell you before we went into seclusion? We asked you to bring the hero child to the main tribe. Why did you leave him here?" Although the barbarian tribe patriarch looked like an old man and was also a great Tao expert, his seniority was 1 or 2 generations lower than the Grand Supreme Elders in the tribe. At this moment, being reprimanded like this, he naturally could not say anything and stood aside with his head lowered. "Third Supreme Elder, it's not the tribe patriarch's fault. It's the hero child who insisted on staying here, saying that this is the place where he grew up. He can't bear to part with his uncles and friends, and he can't bear to part with this small piece of land." The tribe patriarch had no choice. A burly man at the 7th level of immortal ascension said. The 3rd Supreme Elder's eyes were still fixed. Even so, he should have sent experts to guard this place. Why didn't he do that? That might expose the uniqueness of this place. If someone sets their eyes on the hero child, it will cause trouble instead. The burly man said in a low voice. The 3rd Supreme Elder glared angrily, and he was so angry that his Tao law fluctuated chaotically. When Lin Tian saw this scene, he felt even more how important Fanning Xiong was to the barbarian tribe. The barbarian tribe valued him so much that hundreds of their tribesmen had charged over. The barbarian tribe patriarch and 4 great Tao realm Grand Supreme Elders had personally come. This treatment was even better than the treatment that the young paragons and saints of the other large tribes received. Hundreds of barbarian tribe cultivators followed behind the second Supreme Elder and the third Supreme Elder. All of them had thick blood chi, and many of them were burly men. Most of them had half of their chests exposed, and their skin was bronze. Their muscles were like dragons, giving off a powerful feeling. At this moment, when they saw the small tribe's ground covered in blood and the bones of their tribesmen who had their flesh and blood devoured, and heard that important tribesmen had gone missing and their fate was unknown, the eyes of this group of barbarian tribe cultivators turned red, and the veins on many of their foreheads throbbed. Damn those bugs! How dare they bully us like this? Elders, tribe patriarch, we can't let this go. Our tribesmen can't bleed for nothing. We can't be bullied like this. Let's fight, elders. Kill our way to the main tribe of the insect tribe and overturn them. Kill them all. Smash them all to death. The hundreds of barbarian tribe cultivators were enraged. Powerful waves of divine power and true origin intertwined in this space. This group of barbarian tribe cultivators all had powerful battle chis. F***CK. The third supreme elder of the barbarian tribe had an extremely fiery temper. At this moment, he also roared, I want to kill them all. King insect tribe. I want to kill all of them. Kill. Let's fight. Attack the insect tribe's nest. This group of barbarian tribe cultivators roared angrily. Lin Tian was moved. Although this group of barbarian tribe cultivators' combat power was not as strong as his, by Chio, by Ziki, and Wuxing Crocodile, when these hundreds of people roared together, their battle chis were very powerful. Most importantly, they were angry because of the deaths of their tribe members, which was very infectious. The second supreme elder of the barbarian tribe's hair was messy, and his face was very gloomy. We barbarian tribe have never taken the initiative to fight with others. We only have savage beasts as our companions. Even if we are known as the weakest among the several large tribes, it is nothing. We have never cared about it and have never had a grudge against the insect tribe. But now, the insect tribe has bullied our tribe and massacred our tribe, causing our precious children to be nowhere to be found. How can we let this go? We must make them pay the price. The second supreme elder of the barbarian tribe's words were not loud, but they were filled with dense, killing intent. Kill. Crush them all to death. These King dogs. The hundreds of barbarian tribe cultivators roared. The second supreme elder of the barbarian tribe looked at the hundreds of people here. Leave some of you to continue searching for the whereabouts of the heroes. The rest of you, return to the main tribe and wave your blades at the insect tribe. The second supreme elder of the barbarian tribe's cultivation was very strong. He was at the seventh heaven of the great Tao. At this time, his body exuded an aura like that of a ferocious beast. Our tribe members bled for no reason, so we will pay with blood. Hearing the second supreme elder's words, the hundreds of barbarian tribe cultivators roared again and waved the wolf hammer weapons in their hands wildly. That's how it should be. Kill all those King dogs. The third supreme elder roared. The chief of the barbarian tribe and the other two supreme elders who arrived first also clenched their fists. Their eyes were filled with killing intent, and their battle chis were boiling. They knew very well that since the second supreme elder had spoken at this time, his meaning was clear. Before they came, the first supreme elder and the ancestor of the tribe had already made this decision. Hearing the angry roars of the barbarian tribe cultivators, Lin Tian and the others felt their blood boiling. Seniors, count us in when you kill the insect tribe. Lin Tian stepped forward. The insect tribe had destroyed that small village and killed all the villagers, including little AI. They had been his and by Ziki's enemies for a long time. Now, this bloodline had slaughtered the small branch tribe of his friend Fanning Xiong. Old grudges and new grudges were settled together. He had to go on this trip to kill the insect tribe. Chapter 762. Upon hearing Lin Tian's words, the barbarian Great Tao realm experts nodded. Good. You're a hero. The elders were not surprised that Lin Tian wanted to attack the insect race's main tribe. Back then, Lin Tian dared to brandish a butcher's knife at the insect race alone. Now that their tribe was going to attack the insect race's main tribe, how could Lin Tian not join them? Slaughter these bastards, Wuxing Crocodile said. Lin Tian did not say anything and stood quietly. The barbarian Great Dao realm experts turned around and looked at the small tribe that had been slaughtered. All of them clenched their fists. The next moment, the second elder with messy hair roared. His voice shook the sky. Then, the other barbarian Great Dao realm cultivators roared as well. The clouds in the sky seemed to be torn apart, and the ferocious beasts in the nearby mountains and forests trembled in fear. This was a ritual used by the barbarian Great Dao realm to send off their dead tribesmen. Lin Tian stared at the small branch of the Berserker tribe. The ground was covered in blood, and there were white bones everywhere. Some of the skeletons still had remnants of their auras intertwined with each other. He could still vaguely remember that the owners of those skeletons had toasted him that night. "I will avenge all of you," he whispered in his heart. His eyes shone brightly as he shifted his gaze away from the small tribe and looked at the sky beyond the mountains. He believed that Fan Engxiong should still be alive. After all, how could a treasure that the barbarian Great Dao realm coveted die so easily? Return to the main tribe and offer sacrifices to the barbarian blade. The loud roars sounded again. On this day, the second elder of the barbarian Great Dao realm ordered 100 barbarian Great Dao realm experts to stay behind and continue searching for Fan Engxiong's whereabouts. The rest returned to the main tribe. Lin Tian and the others were naturally invited by the barbarian Great Dao realm elders. Following the barbarian Great Dao realm cultivators, Lin Tian and the others traversed the mountains. Not long after, 3 towering mountains appeared in front of them. In the valley between the 3 mountains was a huge tribe. There were stone houses built from squarish stones. They looked very ordinary, but they exuded a majestic atmosphere. There was a faint aura of time intertwined around them. Clearly, these stone houses had existed for a very long time. The main tribe of the barbarian race. Lin Tian muttered to himself, "Roar!" Right at this moment, a low roar was heard, and the earth couldn't help but tremble. Near the main tribe of the barbarian tribe, a 15 feet tall savage beast was striding forward. It was a scarlet silver tiger. Its body was intertwined with silver patterns, and even its eyes were silver. The demonic aura of this silver-red tiger was astonishingly thick, and there was actually a faint fluctuation of Dao laws intertwining. It walked over step by step, giving people a huge sense of oppression, as if a demon mountain was pressing down on them. At the same time, there were also savage beasts that were several feet tall walking in other directions. There were more than 10 of them, and their demonic auras were very strong. There was also a faint fluctuation of Dao law. These savage beasts were near the main tribe of the barbarian race, but the main tribe of the barbarian race did not react at all. When the barbarian race cultivators saw these savage beasts, they did not show any fear. Some even showed respect. Lin Tian frowned, slightly puzzled. These savage beasts were all half a step into the Great Dao realm, and they seemed to get along very well with the barbarian race. As if seeing his puzzlement, the Wuxing Crocodile said at this moment, "The barbarian race has a habit of feeding savage beasts since ancient times. They start raising them by their side when they are young. When the young grow up, they will naturally become close to the barbarian race and become a member of the barbarian race." Lin Tian nodded. "So that's how it is." Near the main tribe of the barbarian race, more than 10 savage beasts that were half a step into the Great Dao realm had obviously discovered the return of the second elder and the others, and they all looked over. Among them, the silver-red tiger let out a low roar at the second elder of the barbarian race, and a fluctuation of divine sense was transmitted. "The tribesmen there have all been killed," the second elder of the barbarian race said. "Hero, that child has not been found yet." Roar! The silver-red tiger's roar was clearly several times louder. It shook the mountains, and the demonic aura it emitted was also stronger. At the same time, the other 10 savage beasts also let out roars. Lin Tian felt that there was a murderous intent intertwined. and it was very shocking. The second elder of the barbarian race looked at this group of powerful savage beasts and said, "Of course, we won't let it go just like that." The 10 savage beasts let out a loud roar again, and they stared at the few great Tao realm masters of the barbarian race. "When the war starts, we should all fight together," the second elder of the barbarian race said. After saying that, the second elder of the barbarian race did not say anything more. Together with the other barbarian race masters, they all looked at Lin Tian and the others. "Brother Lin, my friends, we've made you wait outside the tribe with us for a long time. Please come in." These barbarian race masters were very polite to Lin Tian and the others because Lin Tian was Fan Yingxiong's friend and had saved the lives of several of their tribesmen. After Fan Yingxiong mentioned Lin Tian several times, these heroic barbarian race masters had long regarded Lin Tian as one of their own. Naturally, these barbarian race masters also treated Lin Tian's friends equally. On the way into the main tribe, the barbarian race master introduced the 10 savage beasts to Lin Tian and the others. When Hero was still very young, he would always play with them when he came to the main tribe. When he grew up and began to cultivate, he would often fight with them. They all care about that child very much. Now that Hero's whereabouts are unknown, they are as angry as we are. Lin Tian nodded. No wonder those savage beasts had emitted such a strong, murderous intent. Following the barbarian race elders, Lin Tian and the others came to a spacious hall in the main tribe of the barbarian race. An old man with a white beard walked out. He was dressed in animal skin clothes and looked very old, but the fluctuations of his chi and blood were extremely strong. The 8th heaven of the Great Path. Whooshing Crocodile narrowed his eyes. The barbarian race master and the rest of the barbarian race looked at the old man with a white beard. "Great elder." The old man with a white beard was the number 1 great elder of the barbarian race. He first nodded to the barbarian race masters. Then his gaze suddenly fell on Lin Tian, and a strange look flashed in his eyes. "Little friend Lin Tian?" "Lin Tian greets elder." Lin Tian Wei bowed slightly. The great elder of the barbarian race was like the rest of the barbarian race. He was very warm to Lin Tian. Good man." Fan Yingxiong had mentioned Lin Tian many times, so the great elder naturally knew about Lin Tian. Lin Tian introduced Bai Ziki and Bai Qiu to the great elder of the barbarian race. The great elder of the barbarian race naturally treated them warmly. On this day, Lin Tian and the others were very important guests to the barbarian race. However, there was no banquet to welcome them. This was because everyone was filled with killing intent towards the insect race. Everyone was worried about Fan Yingxiong, so a banquet was naturally not suitable. The third elder was very hot-tempered. "Great elder, let's attack the insect race. I'm going to kill these F***ers. The ancestor has already made a decision. The blood of our people will not be spilled in vain. We have prepared all our forces." The great elder of the barbarian race said. The voice of the old man with a white beard was not loud and did not have a strong killing intent. However, there was a sense of determination in his voice, which made Lin Tian's blood boil. He clenched his fists slightly. The barbarian race was going to attack the main tribe of the insect race for the sake of a small branch tribe with a population of about 200 people. It seemed that the insect race had never thought of this. At the same time, there was a flash of light in his eyes. The barbarian race was heroic and righteous. It was inevitable that they would be angry when their people were massacred. However, he guessed that the reason why they did not hesitate to attack the main tribe of the insect race was most likely because of Fan Yingxiong. The insect race massacred the small branch tribe, causing Fan Yingxiong's whereabouts to be unknown. This was probably the heart of the barbarian race. "Senior, when are we going to attack? Can you give me a few days? I would like to engrave a few killing formation platforms," he said. Since they were going to exterminate a large tribe, it was natural for them to make more preparations. The great elder of the barbarian race looked at Lin Tian and was slightly surprised. "Young friend, you can engrave killing formation platforms?" As he spoke, the old man suddenly seemed to remember something. "Yes, Rumor has it that you are a formation manipulator above the 6th rank. The old man looked at Lin Tian and said, "We will depart in about 3 days. Young friend, do you think there is enough time?" Lin Tian nodded. 3 days was enough. With his current cultivation and soul power, 3 days was enough for him to engrave 20 mature, eternal killing formation platforms. On this day, the barbarian race prepared a place for the 3 people and 1 crocodile to rest. They also prepared food and did not disturb them. Lin Tian sat cross-legged in the middle of a stone house. He took out 20 black waterstone platforms from his stone ring and operated the Heavenly One Soul Art. A faint silver soul light jumped along with his fingertips and imprinted on the black waterstone, hiding in the black waterstone. The black waterstone could store the formation patterns in advance. It was the best stone to engrave the killing formation platforms. Bai Ziki, Bai Chiu, and Wuxing Crocodile were all here. Bai Ziki and Bai Chiu sat on one side and watched. Wuxing Crocodile was lying on a stone bed on the other side. Speaking of which, young fellow Lin, that barbarian race friend of yours is very unusual. He actually made the barbarian race treat him so well. This is much better than the treatment of the young Supremes and the so-called holy sons of the other major races. Wuxing Crocodile said at this time, according to Master Crocodile's estimation, your barbarian race friend is either a peerless monster with heaven-defying talent, or he is very likely to have a king body. Do you know the specific situation? Lin Tian paused, shook his head slightly, and said, I don't know. He could naturally feel that the barbarian race valued Fan Yingxiong very much. Previously, a strong barbarian race man had said that Fan Yingxiong was the hope of their generation. However, he didn't know the specific situation of Fan Yingxiong, and it was naturally inappropriate for him to ask about such things. Moreover, there was no need to ask. No matter what the specific situation of Fan Yingxiong was, the other party was his friend. Don't disturb him, Bai Chiu said to Wuxing Crocodile. Wuxing Crocodile rolled his eyes. At this time, he didn't argue with Bai Chiu and became quiet. Lin Tian seriously engraved the eternal killing rune. Soon, 3 days passed. In 3 days, he rested 6 times in the middle. Each time, he rested for 2 hours to adjust his breathing. After 3 days, he engraved 20 eternal killing rune platforms. He divided these killing runes into 5 for Bai Ziki, 5 for Bai Chiu, and 5 for Wuxing Crocodile. He kept 5 for himself. Roar! The beast's roar shook the sky, and the earth couldn't help but shake. On this day, the main barbarian race, which was the barbarian race's main tribe, was filled with shouts of killing intent. Numerous barbarian race experts stood out, either holding broadswords, wolf hammers, or stone axes. Lin Tian and the others walked out of the stone house. Looking at these barbarian race experts, their blood couldn't help but boil. Little friend Lin, friends, are you ready? The great elder of the barbarian race looked over. Lin Tian nodded. Everything was ready. Good. The great elder of the barbarian race nodded and looked at the barbarian race cultivators. A debt of blood shall be paid with blood. Boys kill. 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 The barbarian race cultivators roared, and their killing intent was shocking. Chapter 763. The main tribe of the barbarian tribe was enveloped by the soaring battle aura. The barbarian warriors roared loudly, their voices shaking the sky and the earth. The 3 mountains outside the main tribe of the barbarian tribe seemed to be shaking. Charge! The great elder of the barbarian tribe let out a low roar. Instantly, all the barbarian warriors moved. Some rode on their armored horses on the ground, while others flew in the sky. The entire tribe was dark, and everyone's vitality was very strong. What a group of ferocious barbarians, Wuxing Crocodile muttered. Looking over, the barbarian cultivators were dark, and it was difficult to count how many of them there were. Most of them had half of their chests exposed, and their muscles were strong. Divine power and vital essence waves intertwined, and great Tao waves also spread out. Lin Tian followed the barbarian tribe cultivators as he observed them seriously. Among this group of barbarian tribe cultivators, There were a total of 10 Great Dao Realm cultivators, and there were also quite a number of half-step Great Dao Realm cultivators. There were close to 20 savage beasts at this level, not to mention the barbarian tribe's own half-step Great Dao Realm cultivators. And this was not the full strength of the barbarian race. They were only warriors who were attacking the insect tribe. At this moment, there were still other Great Dao Realm experts guarding the main tribe of the barbarian tribe, who said that the barbarian race is the weakest among the major races. His eyes lit up. From this momentum, the barbarian race had at least 13 Great Dao Realm experts and hundreds of half-step Great Dao Realm experts. This was much stronger than the insect tribe, the ant tribe, the dark shadow tribe, and the blood wolf tribe. It was not much weaker than the bone tribe and other major factions. Boom! The void was trembling, and the earth was shaking. Marching towards the insect tribe, this group of barbarian warriors was very high profile. They did not hide at all and just crossed the void. Their armored horses stepped on the ground, and with soaring killing intent, they charged towards the main tribe of the insect tribe. This caused many cultivators to widen their eyes. There are Great Dao Realm experts among the barbarian cultivators. There are actually 10 of them. What a powerful aura! Are the barbarians so powerful? Oh my God! What is this tribe going to do? The cultivators who saw this all widened their eyes. The densely packed barbarian tribe cultivators walked out of the main tribe at the center. They walked out of the mountains, stepped through the void, and pressed down on the ground. All of them carried a shocking killing intent. All of them had extremely powerful blood chi, and they were like wild beasts, causing many cultivators to tremble in fear. Some of the cultivators stared at the group of barbarian tribe cultivators. Then, their expressions changed when they saw Lin Tian. That ruthless person is in there? The ant race, the dark shadow race, and the stone god race are all hunting him down. I heard that the sea race is also trying to kill him for some reason recently. Why is he suddenly working with the barbarian race? What happened? The crowd of cultivators trembled. This time, Lin Tian did not hide anything. There was no need to hide anything. This time, they were going to exterminate the entire clan. Boom! The aura of the barbarian tribe army was intimidating. After walking out of the main tribe and away from the mountains, they no longer roared and did not say a word. However, their battle chi was still powerful, burning like a raging fire. Everywhere they passed, many cultivators retreated. All of them were shocked. Not long after, some sharp-eyed cultivators noticed that Lin Tian and the 10 Great Dao Realm experts of the barbarian tribe were at the front. They followed the group of barbarian tribe cultivators and seemed to be marching toward the main tribe of the insect race. Could it be that they're going to... Someone vaguely guessed something and instantly felt a chill rush up from the soles of their feet to their heads. Boom! The barbarian tribe cultivators were densely packed. They did not say a word, but their eyes were filled with killing intent. Their violent battle chi caused the void to rumble continuously. There were even distortions that appeared like ripples. They were completely affected by the terrifying killing intent. This was a murderous army that was marching toward the main tribe of the insect race. After an unknown amount of time, a vast mountain range appeared in front of them. Looking from afar, numerous enormous palaces were laid out horizontally in the center of this mountain range. It was unknown how wide they were, and all of them were built with expensive stone materials. "We're here!" A murderous glint flashed in Lin Tian's eyes. Ziki clenched his fists. He did not hide his cold gaze at all. The whooshing crocodile lay on top of Lin Tian's head and narrowed its eyes slightly. There were countless barbarian tribe cultivators. They stared at the main tribe of the insect race in front of them. Their battle chi was violent, and their killing intent soared into the sky. Who is it? Outside the main tribe of the insect race, the expressions of the few insect race cultivators guarding changed. Golden divine light surged around Lin Tian's body. He was the first to rush out and instantly arrived in front of the main gate of the insect race. Boom! He swung his golden fist and pressed it down. The sky seemed like it was going to collapse. It instantly shattered the few insectoid cultivators guarding outside the gate. Blood stained the sky. Even the main gate of the insectoid race collapsed under the punch. "Smelly bugs, aren't you looking for me? I'm here," he roared. Within the main tribe of the insect race, there were naturally experts who noticed Lin Tian. "Human, it's you. Our race is looking for you." "Very well. You're here to die." A half-step great Dao expert charged over. Lin Tian turned his head to look. His eyes were cold. He slashed out a beam of golden sword chi with his bare hands. With a poof, it shattered into pieces. "Today, I'm here to seek justice." His voice was extremely cold. Back then, that simple and unadorned village had been destroyed by the insectoids, and the villagers had all died miserably. He could only watch helplessly as the 5-year-old little AI died in front of him, which made him extremely resentful. Now, in order to force him out, this bloodline had even killed the small branch family that his friend was in, slaughtering them all, causing his friend's fate to be unknown. This made him extremely resentful. "You damn thing! Attack together and kill him. Chop him into meat paste." An insect race cultivator roared. Nearly 100 branch tribes of the insect race all belonged to the central main tribe of the insect race. Now, there were many experts here. Immediately, more than a dozen half-step Great Dao experts pressed forward together. Moreover, some immortal ascension experts and flight cultivators also charged forward. Boom! The void distorted, and a bolt of purple lightning descended from the sky. Baiziki stepped out and shattered a half-step Great Dao expert of the insect race on the spot. Then, in the next moment, the sky trembled, and a sea of lightning descended. Screams immediately sounded. Lord Crocodile has personally taken action. Little insects tremble in fear. Whooshing crocodile leaped from Lin Tian's head. The 5-colored wings on its back spread open, and its demon body expanded to 30 feet. With a light flap of its wings, a 5-colored gale swept past and tore a half-step Great Dao expert into pieces. Blood and flesh fell from the void. Bai Qiu was the last to step out. Dim light intertwined around his body, and he used his divine power to form the lunar bow. It pierced through the forehead of a half-step Great Dao expert of the insect race, causing him to fall from the void. His life force instantly disappeared without a trace. You guys? In the central main tribe of the insect race cultivators were all shocked by the might of the 3 people and the crocodile. At the same time, the group of barbarian race cultivators were also shocked. Even the 10 Great Dao realm experts were shocked. These cultivators were well aware of Lin Tian's strength. He had killed several young supreme beings and holy sons of several large clans. He was close to being invincible among his peers. However, they had never imagined that the 2 people and 1 alligator by Lin Tian's side were also so terrifying. Killing a half-step Great Dao realm cultivator was like tearing apart a painting. It was truly shocking. Then, in the next moment, the 10 Great Dao realm experts all reacted. "Children, what are you waiting for? Kill!" The barbarian race Grand Elder roared. Instantly, the barbarian race's battle spirit went berserk. All the barbarian race warriors moved. "Kill! Kill! Kill!" The battle cries were ear-piercing, shaking the sky. This group of barbarian race cultivators had astonishing vitality. When they joined forces, they were like a killing army from the ancient era that cut through time and space. They destroyed everything easily. There was really nothing that could stop them. They crushed the insect race cultivators one after another. Roar! Beast roared, shook the sky. On the shoulders of several barbarian race experts, ancient barbarian race beasts that had shrunk their demonic bodies soared into the sky. Their demonic bodies enlarged. Instantly, astonishing demonic auras swept through the sky and earth. They were just a hair's breadth away from stepping into the Great Dao realm. Their might was much stronger than that of ordinary half-step Great Dao experts. They could not be compared at all. They directly shattered the void. In an instant, bloody light kept exploding in the center of the barbarian race. It was blinding. Human barbarian race? You, what do you want to do? Do you want to start a war with our race? Are you crazy? Some insect race experts were terrified. Start a war, your mom. We are here today to wipe out your race. Wipe out your race. The barbarian race third elder roared and personally attacked. Great Tao realm waves swept through the sky. Under the pressure of the Tao laws, it was unknown how many insect race cultivators were torn to shreds. Blood kept pouring down like heavy rain, instantly dyeing half of the ground red. Such an attack scared all the insect race cultivators so much that their faces turned pale. Kill. F asterisk king B asterisk stards. I'll kill all of you today. Brothers, don't let any of them off. Let these F asterisk king B asterisk stards know that the barbarian race is not to be trifled with. The barbarian race cultivators roared furiously. They had never taken the initiative to fight with others. All year round, they would fight with ferocious, demonic beasts deep in the mountains and forests. All of them were very powerful and valued loyalty and kinship. Now, a small tribe had been massacred by the insect race for no reason, and the most important person to the barbarian race was still nowhere to be found. How could they not be furious? All of them were filled with killing intent. Faced with such a large army, although the insect race was not weak, they were all scared out of their wits by the battle aura and killing intent. Ah! Miserable cries rang out. Many insect race cultivators were terrified and trembled with fear. At this moment, two powerful waves of Tao laws spread out. The insect race's first supreme elder and another supreme elder rushed out. They first swept a glance at Lin Tian with a face full of killing intent. Then, they looked toward the 10 great Tao realm experts on the barbarian race's side. Their expressions were grim and ugly. Barbarians, what are you doing? Why did you kill your way into our race with that be asterisk starred? Why? The great elder of the barbarian race took a step forward. Killing intent intertwined, and his eyes were cold. The barbarian race has no enmity with the insect race, but you massacred a branch of the barbarian race and devoured the flesh and blood of our people. How dare you ask us why? The expressions of the two great Tao realm experts changed. The great elder of this branch said with a livid expression, "It's just 200 people. How can it be considered a branch of the insect race? The strongest person in that place is only at the 6th tier of the immortal connecting realm. Moreover, he's about to die of old age. You want to start a war with the insect race for such a small and broken place without any climate?" Chapter 764. Facing Lin Tian's sword gleam. The insect race Grand Elder's eyes were cold as he shattered the sword gleam with a slap. Little B asterisk starred. I'll kill you first. The insect race Grand Elder said viciously as he raised his hand and pressed down on Lin Tian. Lin Tian had destroyed more than 20 tribes of the insect race, killed their young paragons, snatched their superior grade Tao weapons, and caused the deaths of 7 great Tao realm experts. This was a huge grudge. This palm was a little terrifying. After all, the insect race Grand Elder was at the 8th heaven of the great Tao. The Tao law fluctuations were extremely shocking. Boom! A cold snort sounded, bringing with it a violent blood energy fluctuation. The barbarian race Grand Elder came across the sky and pressed down with a punch. With a bang, the insect race Grand Elder was blasted back on the spot. One of his arms was covered in cracks and specks of blood. Human barbarian race, are you really going to start a war with the insect race for such a small and broken place? The insect race Grand Elder was furious. Broken your mother! The sky trembled violently as the barbarian race third elder pressed down. A mace appeared in his hand. It was a middle-grade Tao weapon. He smashed it directly at the insect race Grand Elder. For a time, the void collapsed continuously. The scene was terrifying. You bang! The insect race Grand Elder reached out to block and was forced back several feet. Children, kill them all? Kill them all. Don't even leave a rat alive. The barbarian race third elder roared. As soon as the barbarian race third elder's words fell, The battle cries became even more violent. Kill! 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 Killing intent pierced through the void, and battle auras tore the sky apart. The barbarian race army crushed past, and the insect race cultivators exploded one after another. Roar! The red-silver tiger roared and tore a half-step great Tao realm expert apart. At the same time, in other places, more than a dozen savage beasts were also extremely powerful. They were much stronger than ordinary half-step great Tao experts. They tore apart the insect race half-step great Tao experts one after another. Kill this bunch of trash. Kill them all. Kill. The barbarian race cultivators roared, all of them filled with bloodlust. Such voices and battle auras moved one's expression. Lord Crocodile actually feels a little infected. What a group of good barbarians. Whooshing Crocodile said. A five-colored hurricane was unleashed as its wings flapped, tearing apart a group of insect tribe cultivators. A high-grade immortal sword appeared in Lin Tian's hand. Towering sword lights swept out, covering the sky and earth. This sword light was a little terrifying. With his current cultivation level, almost no one below the Great Tao realm could block it. Instantly, dozens of insect tribe cultivators lost their lives. Blood and broken corpses fell on the ground of the insect tribe's central main tribe. It was a ghastly sight. Boom! The heavens trembled and thunder rumbled. Baiziki's expression was cold, like a god of thunder standing in the sky. He didn't do anything else and just stood there. However, the destructive purple lightning bolts came crashing down like a sea of lightning. They destroyed everything in their path and scorched the ground of the insect race's main territory. Countless insect race cultivators were smashed to pieces. A bunch of bastards. Bai Qiu gritted her teeth. There was anger on her face. The great deity king arcane technique of the Bai family was activated with the power of Yin. It was unknown how much stronger it was compared to the pure Bai family technique. A divine shadow stood behind her. With a palm, it collapsed the space and crushed the insect race cultivators one by one. Even a half-step great Tao realm cultivator couldn't withstand it. With a look of horror, they died under such a great technique. It could be said that this was an absolute suppression. 3 people and 1 crocodile swept in front, and the barbarian army pressed behind. The insect race cultivators really couldn't resist. Under such a strong attack, there was no room for resistance. They could only wait to be killed. No! Ah! Great Elder! The insect race cultivators screamed in horror. You! The insect race Great Elder's gaze was vicious. He was shocked and angry. He stared at Lin Tian, then at Bai Ziki, Bai Qiu, and Whooshing Crocodile. These 3 people and 1 crocodile were too strong, and it made him extremely angry. At this time, the half-step Great Tao realm cultivators of their race were like weeds in the hands of the other party. They were killed one after another. The ordinary insect race cultivators were like sitting ducks, waiting to be slaughtered. Blood kept splattering, and the ground of the main territory was completely dyed red. Lin Tian tilted his head and looked his eyes cold. Today, your race will completely disappear from this land. Clang! He waved his immortal sword, splitting the clouds and tearing apart the sky. Another half-step Great Tao realm cultivator of the insect race was torn apart, and a group of ordinary insect race cultivators were turned into a bloody mist. The scene was terrifying. The insect race Great Elder and the other Supreme Elder were both shocked and angry. Bastard! You damned bastard! Boom! Boom! At this time, the 2 great experts didn't even care about the others. They rushed toward Lin Tian together. The barbarian race Great Elder snorted coldly and pressed down on the insect race Great Elder. The barbarian race Third Elder also pressed down with the barbarian race Great Elder. He held a middle-grade Tao weapon and attacked the insect race Great Elder together. At the same time, he shouted at the other barbarian race Great Tao realm cultivators who followed him. What are you waiting for? Attack together and crush them. The moment the 3rd elder of the barbarian tribe finished speaking, 8 waves of the Great Path appeared and rushed forward. Among them, The second elder of the barbarian tribe led 4 people to attack the supreme elder of the insect tribe, while the others attacked the great elder of the insect tribe. Boom, boom, boom. The waves of great Tao intertwined, and divine power surged like a vast ocean. It could be said that this was a completely unfair battle. Because of Lin Tian, the insect race only had 2 great Tao realm cultivators left. The other 7 had been killed. Now, how could the 2 great Tao realm cultivators of the insect race contend against the 10 great Tao realm cultivators of the barbarian race? They were simply being crushed. In the blink of an eye, large amounts of blood flowed out. Activate the protective formation. The insect race great elder roared. With a rumble, the sky seemed like it was about to collapse. Dense formation patterns appeared within the insectoids, and a terrifying killing intent spread out. The void turned pitch black. Moreover, at this time, other patterns appeared and confined all directions, causing some of the barbarian race cultivators to feel as if they had fallen into a swamp. Their movements immediately became difficult. My insect race has the protective formation. Do you really think you can easily break through my insect race? You're too naive, the insect race great elder said coldly. Boom! The insect race's protective formation shook. The entire space was covered by murderous intent. The murderous intent was truly shocking. Do you think I don't know that you have the protective formation here? A cold voice sounded. Lin Tian's eyes were cold and emotionless, like a god of death. Sacrificial killing formation platform. He was in the east. The moment he finished speaking, 5 Darkwater platforms rushed out from his body. Instantly, a terrifying murderous intent intertwined. Dense, eternal killing patterns appeared and instantly covered a large area of space. Heh! Whooshing Crocodile laughed. In the south, he also activated 5 killing formation platforms, and the eternal killing patterns appeared together. In the west, Baiziki was as cold as usual. In the Sea of Lightning, the same 5 killing formation platforms appeared. In the north, Bai Chio waved his hand. The 5 eternal killing formation platforms were activated, and dense eternal killing patterns surged out. Boom! In an instant, the 20 corners eternal killing formation appeared together. An even more powerful murderous intent intertwined, causing the insect race cultivators and barbarian race cultivators to palpitate. Today, your insect race will die, Lin Tian said emotionlessly. With a rumble, the 5 corners eternal killing patterns shone brightly in the east, and the murderous light resounded. At the same time, in the other 3 directions, Whooshing Crocodile, Baiziki, and Bai Chio each controlled the 5 corners eternal killing formation, crushing the insect race's protective formation. The eternal killing formation was created by the formation Emperor, Heavenly Venerate, one of the 9 Heavenly Venerates. No formation in the 10 directions celestial domain could compete with it. Perhaps a single corner of the eternal killing formation might not be comparable to the insect tribe's fortifying formation. However, when all 20 corners of the eternal killing formation were manifested at the same time, it was possible to counter the insect tribe's fortifying formation with quantity. The combined might and murderous intent of the 20 corners of the eternal killing formation had completely blocked the insect tribe's fortifying formation. It might even be stronger than it. Kill! Lin Tian shouted. The 20 corners eternal killing formation suppressed the insect race's protective formation. He waved his immortal sword again, and the sword light was unparalleled. Puff! 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 Blood mist exploded. In the blink of an eye, the insect race cultivators were sliced into pieces by the sword light. Even some insect race cultivators who were half a step away from the great Tao realm were killed by the sword light. In the other 3 directions, Whooshing Crocodile, Baiziki, and Bai Chio attacked at the same time, tearing apart a large number of insect race cultivators. Facing these 3 people and 1 crocodile, no one below the great Tao realm could stop them. The insect race first elder's expression changed drastically. He was both shocked and furious. He had just supported the protective formation and had not had the time to kill the barbarian race cultivators. He had not truly displayed his killing power but he was blocked just like that. This made him extremely angry. The barbarian race first elder and the others were also shocked. Previously, Lin Tian said that he wanted to carve a few killing formations, but he did not expect that these killing formations would be so terrifying. They actually blocked the insect race's protective formation and were even stronger. Good, good, good. You're a hero. The barbarian race third elder laughed maniacally. Then, an even more violent attack landed on the insect race's first supreme elder. Kill! The battle cries shook the heavens and the earth. The barbarian race cultivators had an astonishing aura. Behind the three people and the crocodile, they crushed the insect race cultivators like a murderous torrent, crushing and trampling the insect race cultivators who resisted. Ah! Screams echoed in the center of the insect race's main tribe. With the three people and the crocodile holding the line, this tribe could not stop the barbarian race army at all. At this moment, an extremely powerful and ferocious aura rushed out from the depths of the insect race. An ugly old man rose into the sky. His eyes were dark green, and green poisonous fog intertwined around his body. His gaze was very frightening. Ancestor, the insect race first elder shouted. At the same time, the other insect race cultivators were also overjoyed. They all shouted the words, Ancestor. Lin Tian and the others looked over, and a cold light intertwined in their eyes. This was the insect race's ancestor, Enlightenment Realm powerhouse. Chapter 765. The insect tribe patriarch was a little terrifying. With his cultivation at the Enlightenment Realm, his giant hand had sealed the surrounding void. The three people and the alligator could not dodge it even if they wanted to. There was no space to dodge at all. Kill them? The insect tribe cultivators clamored. At this moment, the insect tribe patriarch walked out. The insect tribe cultivators who were originally frightened regained their confidence. Their frightened expressions disappeared because their patriarch was at the Enlightenment Realm. Boom! Right at this moment, the heavens quaked as a stone hammer came crashing down, crushing the gigantic hand that the old master of the insect race had extended out. A well-built old man descended from the sky. He wore a piece of animal skin around his waist. His upper body was bare, and his chi and blood were as vast as the ocean. Patriarch! The barbarian tribe army looked at the old man. They raised the weapons in their hands and shouted in unison. Lin Tian and the others looked over. Their eyes shone brightly. The barbarian tribe patriarch Wuzhen had also come. The barbarian tribe patriarch descended. Like the rest of the barbarian tribe army, his entire body was filled with wildness. He was like a ferocious lion on the grassland. For a moment, many insect tribe cultivators were shocked. They were intimidated by the barbarian tribe patriarch's aura. Old thing, are you barbarians determined to start a war with my tribe? The insect tribe patriarch's shattered giant hand reassembled. His eyes were filled with coldness and venom. The barbarian tribe patriarch of the Enlightenment Realm had come personally. He even brought a barbarian tribe upper-grade Dao weapon. Two rays of divine light shot out from the barbarian tribe patriarch's eyes. He directly activated the stone hammer and pressed it toward the insect tribe patriarch again. You killed my people and bullied my grandson. Do you really think the barbarian tribe is easy to bully? My tribe lives in the depths of the mountains. We never take the initiative to provoke others. However, we are never afraid of others. The barbarian tribe patriarch's hair stood on end. He looked more like a wild beast than a wild beast. The violent barbarian tribe battle, chi caused the space to rumble. Boom! The barbarian tribe patriarch's attack could be said to be extremely violent. He directly pressed the insect tribe patriarch with the upper-grade Dao weapon. For a moment, the skies seemed to be on the verge of cracking. Under the shocking barbarian tribe battle chi, it was constantly twisting and cracking. This kind of fluctuation was a little shocking. The insect race's tribe protecting formation and Lin Tian's eternal killing mark were a little difficult to withstand. Under this kind of aura, they kept trembling as if they would shatter in the next moment. I've already told you, We're not here to start a war. We're here to exterminate your race." The third elder of the barbarian race roared. Boom! Divine energy vibrated as the barbarian tribe's third elder, barbarian tribe's great elder, and the others joined forces to attack the barbarian tribe's first grand elder. They suppressed the insect tribe's great elder, causing him to cough up blood repeatedly. He was swept away by the barbarian tribe's great elder several times. On the other side, the second elder of the barbarian race and the other barbarian race powerhouses were attacking the other supreme elder of the barbarian race. They had an absolute advantage. After all, it was 5 against 1. The supreme elder of the insect race had no ability to resist at all. Lin Tian swept his gaze across the insectoid territory, a cold glint in his eyes. "Everyone kill!" he shouted. He stood in the east at the forefront of the barbarian race army. He swept out his sword and killed a large number of insectoid cultivators. Behind him, the barbarian race army's eyes lit up. Their battle chi was boosted by Lin Tian's powerful combat strength, and they all roared, "Kill! Kill these pests! Kill them all!" The barbarian race army roared. In the other 3 directions, Bai Chiu, Bai Ziki, and the 5 Elements crocodile were also at the forefront. They were truly unstoppable. The barbarian tribe army that followed behind them destroyed everything in their path. Nothing could be left behind. Ah! The insectoid cultivators screamed in agony, and their terrified expressions appeared again. Clang! Lin Tian swung the towering heaven sword scripture, and the towering heaven sword force swept out in all directions, destroying everything in its path. Lin Tian's killing intent toward the insect race was extremely strong. He did not show any mercy. The towering heaven sword force rained down like rain, wantonly reaping the lives of the insectoid cultivators. Boom! On the other side, purple lightning shook the heavens and earth. Bai Ziki's expression was cold. A sea of lightning surrounded him, and the insectoid cultivators who were half a step away from the great Tao realm were as weak as chickens. The power of the thunder god's physique was fully displayed. "Little bugs, go and reincarnate." Whooshing crocodile laughed. This old monster had fallen from the pinnacle of the nirvana realm to the spiritual sea realm. Now, he had reached the 3rd firmament of immortal ascension and experienced 2 heavenly tribulations. Moreover, he still had the incomplete power of the great Tao precepts in his body. Naturally, he was terrifying, and his combat strength was very strong. On the other side, Bai Chiu used the divine power of moon to form a divine light bow and arrow. Like the moon goddess, wherever the moon arrow passed, the void was stable, and the insectoid cultivators were silently annihilated. Even the half-step Great Tao Realm cultivators could not block it. Under the Great Tao, the 3 of them and the crocodile were invincible. Roar! The barbarian army and the ancient beast followed behind the 3 of them and the crocodile. When they saw the 3 of them, they could not help but roar. There was a shocking light in their eyes, and they were excited by the strength of the 3 of them and the crocodile. At this moment, the 3 of them and the crocodile were like 4 indestructible sharp blades that tore through the defenses of the insectoid cultivators, causing the insectoid cultivators to be utterly defeated. Most of the cultivators were killed by the 3 of them and the crocodile. The barbarian army seemed to be in charge of cleaning up the fish that had escaped the net on the battlefield. With the 3 of them and the crocodile at the front, there were almost no losses. Ah! Miserable cries reverberated continuously. When the insectoid cultivators below the Great Tao Realm saw the 3 of them and the crocodile, they were all extremely terrified. The 10 Great Tao Realm cultivators of the barbarian race looked over. When they saw the 3 of them and the crocodile, their eyes lit up. They were all shocked. The 3rd elder of the barbarian race laughed maniacally and roared, "Brothers, us old guys are about to be suppressed by these little guys. Why don't we hurry up and end the battle? Kill these 2 old bugs." "Of course. Kill. Crush them to death." The other Great Tao Realm cultivators of the insectoid race responded. To the insectoid race, this was an unfair battle. Right now, Their faction only had one patriarch Wuzhen and two great Dao realm cultivators. On the other hand, Lin Tian and the barbarian race had one patriarch Wuzhen and 10 great Dao realm cultivators. Moreover, there were freakish existences like Lin Tian, Bai Ziki, Bai Qiu, and Wuxing Crocodile who could tear apart half-step great Dao realm cultivators as if they were drawing. Just the three of them and the crocodile had completely suppressed the insectoid army. How were they supposed to continue the battle? Boom! Divine might surged, shaking the heavens and the earth. Kill! The second elder of the barbarian race shouted coldly. Together with the other 4 barbarian experts, they killed one of the grand elders of the barbarian race. Kill the great elder of the insectoid race. The second elder of the barbarian race said, "Kill it." The other barbarian experts responded. Instantly, the few barbarian experts swarmed toward the great elder of the insectoid race. The great elder's expression instantly changed. In an instant, the 10 great Dao realm cultivators of the barbarian race pressed down together. That aura made him tremble violently. "Old ancestor, save me!" The number 1 expert below, the patriarch of the insectoid race, began to call for help. The 10 great Dao realm cultivators attacked together. Among them, the great elder of the barbarian race was not any weaker than him. With such a lineup, how could he resist? The great elder of the insectoid race turned his head and took a step forward. However, in the next instant, his path was blocked by a Dao weaponstone hammer. "Your opponent is me." The great elder of the barbarian race stood in front of him. 100 feet tall shadow of the barbarian race ancestor appeared behind him. It had a majestic aura. This was one of the core techniques of the barbarian race. It used the barbarian battle chi to condense the ancestor's shadow. Its offensive power was shockingly strong. Boom! A violent gale swept out, shattering the heavens. The great elder of the insectoid race was forced to face the attack with all his might. Even though he faced the attack with all his might, the great elder of the insectoid race was still at a disadvantage. After all, the great elder of the barbarian race had a high-grade Dao weaponstone hammer in his hand. As for the insectoid race's high-grade Dao weapon, it had been snatched away by Lin Tian previously and was no longer with him. "Damn it!" the great elder of the insectoid race roared. However, it was a pity that it was useless. The great elder of the barbarian race had a vigorous battle chi and was firmly at the top of the battle. When the great elder of the insectoid race saw this scene, a chill ran down his spine. The great elder of the insectoid race was unable to save him. "You won't be able to live. Die." The great elder of the barbarian race said coldly. "Stinking bug." The other 9 great Dao realm experts of the barbarian race pressed forward together. Their attacks were merciless, and their Dao might was as vast as the sea. Stop. I merely destroyed a branch race with only 200 people. Do you have to go to this extent? The great elder of the insectoid race resisted while crying out in fear. At this moment, the great elder of the insectoid race was a little regretful. He was the one who had ordered the experts of his race to go to that small branch race of the barbarian race, because he heard that there was a barbarian youth who had a good relationship with Lin Tian. He seemed to be Lin Tian's friend. Hence, he wanted to capture him to threaten Lin Tian. As far as he knew, the population there was sparse, and there were no experts there. In his opinion, it was not considered a branch race of the barbarian race at all. Even if it was slaughtered, the barbarians would only be angry for a while. It was impossible for them to have a big reaction. However, what he did not expect was that the barbarians would have such a big reaction. Moreover, their reaction was so big that they directly sent their army to attack the main branch of the insectoid race. "Get lost!" The third elder of the barbarian race had a fiery temper. When he heard the great elder of the insectoid race say such words again, his eyes widened, and his attacks became even more violent. Murderous light filled the air. "Kill it!" The second elder of the barbarian race said. With a boom, the 10 great Dao realm experts of the barbarian race attacked with all their might. They attacked from 10 different directions, causing the great elder of the insectoid race to be even more terrified and in despair. Even though he had revealed his true form, it was useless. His physical body was directly shattered. Stop. I apologize to you on behalf of my race. The great elder of the insectoid race's spirit escaped and shouted at this moment. Down my foot! The few great Tao realm experts of the barbarian race shouted in unison. There was nothing else to say. Under the pressure of the 10 great Tao realm experts, the great elder of the insectoid race's spirit was instantly shattered. Great elder! For a moment, all the cultivators of the insectoid race trembled in fear. Lin Tian raised his head and looked. The great elder of the insectoid race had been killed. The light in his eyes shone even brighter, and the sword light that he slashed out was even stronger. Poof! 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 Bloody mist continued to explode. Under his sword light that reached the heavens, ordinary insectoid cultivators had no chance of surviving at all. One after another, they died. Everyone, unleash your full combat power and completely annihilate them, he shouted. Kill! Chapter 766. Following Lin Tian's voice, the barbarian tribe cultivators roared. Their voices shook the sky, and their battle auras surged again. These barbarian tribe warriors were either waving stone spears or iron spears. They were like an ancient army pressing down. Their combat strength was shockingly powerful. Lin Tian remained at the forefront. With a sweep of the immortal sword in his hand, dense sword gleams slashed across like lightning. Poof! 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 Bloody mists exploded one after another. Under the heaven-piercing sword radiance, the insectoid cultivators died one after another. Patriarch, save us! Someone screamed in horror. In this battle, the insect tribe was in an absolutely disadvantageous position. Compared to Lin Tian and the barbarian tribe, the combat strength of both sides was not on the same level. Now, the first Grand Supreme Elder and another Grand Supreme Elder of the insect tribe had died in battle. Only one patriarch was left to be held back by the barbarian tribe patriarch. On the other hand, the barbarian tribe had 10 great Tao experts, as well as Lin Tian, Bai Qiu, Bai Ziki, and Wuxing Crocodile. The insect tribe was even more defeated. Many insect tribe cultivators were trembling. Lin Tian's eyes were indifferent. He was in the insect tribe's main camp. His attacks were merciless. He kept waving the sword in his hand, and sword gleams filled the sky. In the other directions, Bai Qiu, Bai Ziki, and Wuxing Crocodile were also shockingly powerful. They kept reaping the lives of the insect tribe cultivators. At the same time, the barbarian tribe ancient beasts roared. The barbarian tribe army roared, killing the insect tribe cultivators until they could not resist. The insect tribe patriarch's eyes were sinister. Green light of anger intertwined. You've gone too far? Are you human? The barbarian tribe patriarch activated his superior grade Tao weapon and smashed down with his hammer. With a crack, the space shattered and dense cracks appeared. Because of the superior grade Tao weapon in hand, the barbarian tribe patriarch's combat strength was stronger than the insect tribe patriarch's. He forced the insect tribe patriarch to retreat. Staring at the barbarian tribe patriarch, the insect tribe patriarch's eyes turned cold. Do you really think that you can defeat my insect tribe like this? You're dreaming. The insect tribe patriarch retreated. He raised his hand to form strange seals. Today, all of you will die here. Boom! As the insect ancestor finished condensing the seal, the ground shook violently with a rumble. A dark light shot out from the depths of the insect territory, giving off an extremely frightening aura that quickly swept out from the depths of the insect territory. As far as the eye could see, the ground in the depths of the insectoid territory suddenly cracked open, and a pitch-black beetle flew out. Its eyes were as green as the insectoid ancestors, and it had a pair of blood-red wings. Its body was covered in a strange black fog. Lin Tian's expression changed slightly. This black beetle was a bit scary. It was intertwined with a thick, bloody aura. The waves it emitted were enough to be comparable to a fifth sky of Enlightenment realm elite. Be careful, he transmitted his voice to Baichio and the others. In the depths, the black beetle flapped its wings, bringing with it a rotting gale. In the blink of an eye, it arrived at the battlefield. In an instant, even more astonishing auras intertwined, causing everyone to be shocked. The pupils of the great elder of the barbarian tribe shrank. It was obvious that he felt a great threat. Beside him, the expressions of the other great elders of the barbarian tribe also became solemn as they stared ahead. At the same time, the barbarian tribe army could not help but stop attacking the insect race cultivators. They were all shocked by the sudden appearance of this armored beetle. The aura that the beetle emitted was too shocking. It was filled with an evil aura. Even the insectoid cultivators were shocked, revealing looks of astonishment on their faces. The insect tribe patriarch had a cruel look in his eyes. He leaped back and landed steadily on the head of the armored beetle. Kill. It spat out a word. The armored beetle let out a hiss and opened its mouth to spit out a black light. It was not aimed at the barbarian tribe patriarch, but at the barbarian tribe army. In an instant, dozens of barbarian tribe soldiers exploded. Their flesh and blood floated in the air, and they were all absorbed by the armored beetle and swallowed into its stomach. Then, in the next moment, the aura that the beetle emitted became even stronger. The barbarian tribe patriarch was enraged. "Old bug!" The barbarian tribe patriarch rushed over and took out a high-grade Dao weapon, a stone hammer. He smashed the space and attacked the insect tribe patriarch and the armored beetle. However, the armored beetle was too strong. Even someone as strong as the barbarian tribe patriarch was not a match for it with a high-grade Dao weapon. In the blink of an eye, he was swept away. More than half of his body was crushed, and his blood splattered in the void. It was a ghastly sight. Patriarch, the barbarian tribe grand elder, and the others all changed their expressions. Lin Tian and the others were shocked. The barbarian tribe patriarch was not a match for the armored beetle. The insect race cultivators were stunned at first, but then they were all overjoyed. "Patriarch, kill them. Our insect race is invincible. Kill all the invaders." The insect race cultivators began to clamor again. At this time, the armored beetle summoned by their patriarch was too strong. More than half of the barbarian tribe patriarch's body was crushed with a high-grade Dao weapon. Who else could block it? Now, with this armored beetle, the insect race cultivators felt that they could definitely annihilate all the invaders. The insect race patriarch stood on the armored beetle, his eyes cold and vicious. The insect race's guardian beast has been fed with the flesh and blood of all the cultivators in the world for 5,000 years. Now, it's enough to kill everyone below the fifth heaven of Wuzhen. Staring at the barbarian tribe patriarch, the insect race patriarch suddenly smiled eerily. "All right, in these 5,000 years, there were also cultivators from your barbarian tribe who fell into the stomach of my insect race's guardian beast. You can say that you contributed to the growth of my insect race's guardian beast. Now, all of you will be devoured to help my insect race's guardian beast become stronger and complete another transformation." "Old stinking bug, what did you say? You fed this beast with the flesh and blood of our people." The barbarian tribe third elder was furious. "All these years, our clansmen have been training in the deep mountains, fighting with the demonic beasts. From time to time, some of our clansmen would go missing. We thought that they had died in battle with the demonic beasts and were swallowed by them." The barbarian tribe first elder clenched his fists and gritted his teeth as he stared at the insect race patriarch. "It's you. You secretly took our people," and the insect race patriarch laughed sinisterly. "You savage, you're quite quick-witted." "That's right. Your missing people were either devoured by demonic beasts or entered the stomach of my insect race's guardian beast." A cold glint appeared in Lin Tian's eyes. The insect race had done more insane things than he had imagined. The barbarian tribe army was furious. In these years, their missing people did not die in battle with demonic beasts, but were secretly captured by the insect race and became food in the belly of the armored beetle. "I'll kill you." The barbarian tribe third elder was shocked and furious. He charged directly at the insect race patriarch. The insect race patriarch sneered and raised his hand to grab the barbarian tribe third elder. In an instant, the barbarian tribe third elder was imprisoned. He could not resist at all and could not even move a finger. After all, the insect race patriarch was a Wuxian elite. Dong! A stone hammer pressed down with great power and pulled the barbarian tribe third elder back from the insect race patriarch's hand. Patriarch! The barbarian tribe third elder clenched his fists. The insect race patriarch stood on the armored beetle and looked down at the barbarian tribe patriarch. "So what if you saved him? Today, all of you who came here will die here. Saving him is just delaying his death. It's a useless effort." The barbarian tribe patriarch stared at the insect race patriarch. His eyes were wide open as if they were of the same age. "You'll pay the price." The barbarian tribe has never been easy to bully. The ancestor of the barbarian tribe raised his hand, and a stone orb that was about an inch wide appeared in his hand. It was covered with various patterns, and the moment it appeared, it emitted a destructive wave, causing everyone's expressions to change. Even the ancestor of the insect tribe was no exception. "What's that?" Looking at the small stone ball in the barbarian tribe patriarch's hand, the insect race patriarch felt the threat of death. At the same time, Lin Tian's expression changed. The stone orb that the barbarian's progenitor brought out was not big, but it was like a divine weapon. The destructive power contained within it was simply too shocking. Even a man as calm as Zeki's expression changed. Every time the patriarch of the Berserker tribe reaches the end of his lifespan, he will inject the essence of his flesh, blood, and divine power into a stone ball. He will leave it for his descendants, and it will become the strongest foundation of our tribe. Now, our tribe has a total of 9 of these stone balls. When each stone ball explodes completely, it's equivalent to the self-destruction of a Wuxian elite. The barbarian tribe patriarch said coldly. As soon as these words were spoken, the expressions of everyone present changed. When the stone ball explodes completely, it's equivalent to the self-destruction of a Wuxian elite. How terrifying is that? Lin Tian was shocked. Every generation of the barbarian tribe patriarch would extract the essence of his flesh and blood and divine power when his lifespan was about to dry up and condense it into such a powerful weapon for his descendants. Moreover, the barbarian tribe had a total of 9 of these powerful weapons. The barbarian tribe had such a foundation. It seemed to be even more powerful than the bone tribe and the sorcerer tribe. These barbarians are really... Wuxian crocodile could not help but stare at them. Extracting the essence of his flesh and blood and divine power to condense such a powerful weapon for his descendants? Even an old monster like him could not help but be shocked by this method. They were really cruel to themselves. The insect clan's ancestor's face suddenly turned ugly and gloomy. He did not expect the barbarian race to have such a foundation. "You wild barbarians! What are you trying to do by hiding your strength from the world?" "That's right, trying to do something. Our tribe has never taken the initiative to fight with others. Now, you and your stinking bug can go to hell." The barbarian tribe patriarch shouted angrily and directly threw out the stone orb in his hand. In the blink of an eye, a devastating power rippled out and caged the old master of the insect race and the metal-armored gigantic insect. The insect race patriarch's expression changed, and he felt his heart palpitate. "Stop! Stop!" Boom! The stone orb exploded. The barbarian tribe patriarch used a special method to suppress the destructive force within a certain range. It caused the insect race patriarch and the armored bug to explode on the spot. Not even a trace of blood was left behind. Both their bodies and souls were destroyed. In an instant, the entire world fell into a dead silence. The Bug Clan cultivators trembled with fear, and even the half-step Great Dao realm powerhouses were no exception. All of them could not stop trembling. "Hold! old ancestor, the strongest powerhouse of this generation of their lineage, the Wuxian realm old ancestor, was actually killed. Even the iron-armored divine bug that could kill anyone below Wuxian realm level 5 had died before their eyes at this moment. The barbarian tribe army was in a daze. Then they roared in unison. Their eyes were filled with excitement and hatred. Lin Tian and Bai Qiu looked at each other. They glanced at the insect race's main tribe and clenched their fists slightly. Chapter 767. The destructive fluctuations were still intertwining in the air. The insect clan patriarch and the armored insect he summoned were destroyed by the barbarian tribe's ultimate stone ball, causing the insect clan cultivators to panic. At this time, the battle situation was completely revealed. No way. How could this be? The insect clan cultivators were terrified. Lin Tian looked at the center of the insect clan's main territory. There were still many insect clan cultivators left, but unfortunately, they no longer had the will to fight. Kill. This time, there was no need to say anything. The barbarian tribe army roared and charged toward the remaining insect clan cultivators. For the insect clan, this was a disaster. The barbarian tribe army's fighting spirit was overwhelming, and the insect clan cultivators at this time could not compare to their imposing manner. Seeing the barbarian tribe army charging toward them, the insect clan cultivators began to flee in all directions. Lin Tian looked down with an indifferent gaze. Clang! The eternal killing marks were boiling, and the killing light was like the cry of a sword, projecting a dense killing light. At this time, the insect ancestor and the two supreme elders of the insect race had already died in battle. The core bigwigs were also killed one by one in the great battle. The insect race's tribe guarding formation was naturally many times weaker due to the lack of powerhouses controlling it. Now, it was gradually being covered by the 20 Corners Eternal Killing Formation. At this moment, the 20 Corners Eternal Killing Formation was spread all over the insect clan's main territory. Under Lin Tian's will, it boiled at the same time, and countless killing lights fell like rain, instantly turning this place into a purgatory of killing. Ah! Miserable screams reverberated. The insect clan cultivators were terrified, and some even began to beg for mercy. Unfortunately, in this place, whether it was Lin Tian or others, they would not show mercy. This lineage was too hateful. Clang! 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 The killing lights were dense, and they struck down one after another. The killing force could be said to be unstoppable. Looking at these killing lights, the 10 great path powerhouses of the barbarian tribe were shocked again. Even the barbarian tribe patriarch was slightly shocked. Kill! Brothers, trample all these insects to death, dig 3 feet into the ground, and don't even leave a mouse alive. Let's do it! The barbarian tribe army was very ferocious. They swung the spike clubs in their hands and smashed the insect tribe cultivators one after another. The screams continued, and after an unknown amount of time, the central area of the insect race was dyed red with blood. All the insect race cultivators were killed by the barbarian race army, and not a single one was left. Their corpses were piled up on the ground. Roar! The ancient beasts of the barbarian race roared. The army of the barbarian race raised their weapons and roared at the sky. The eternal killing mark dimmed down. Lin Tian and Bai Qiu walked together, looking in the direction of that remote village. This enmity could be considered to have truly ended. If only she could come back to life. Bai Qiu's mood was still low. I want to truly teach her cultivation. Lin Tian comforted her. Back then, he had to watch little AI die in front of his eyes. He felt even worse than Bai Qiu. But now he felt much better. Bai Ziki glanced over, but didn't say anything. In the distance, the barbarian race's ancestor, the Great Elder, and the others strode over. The barbarian race's ancestor looked at Lin Tian, then at Bai Ziki, Bai Qiu, and the Wuxian crocodile. Little friend Lin, these friends have really broadened the horizons of us old fellows. The 3 of them and the crocodile were too strong, causing the barbarian race's ancestor to be shocked. Senior, you praise us too much. The strength of the aristocrats is truly shocking. You are much, much stronger than what the outside world says. Lin Tian was very polite. Little Lin, little fellow from the barbarian race, stop being jealous. We've already wiped out this group of insect race experts. Now it's time to seize their treasures. The whooshing crocodile shrunk its body and lay on Lin Tian's head again. The 10 great Dao realm experts of the barbarian race were stunned. The barbarian race's ancestor even opened his mouth, feeling a little awkward. He was already so old and was the ancestor of a race. Yet, he was now being called a little fellow. This little friend crocodile is really... Lin Tian blushed with shame. Senior, please don't blame it. It has never understood etiquette. To be honest, it was very normal for the whooshing crocodile to call the barbarian race's ancestor a little fellow. This was because the whooshing crocodile had lived for much longer than the barbarian race's ancestor. After all, it was at the peak of the Nirvana realm back then. However, at this time, he naturally wouldn't say this out loud. Therefore, he could only cup his fists slightly to express his apology. The whooshing crocodile glared at him. In the end, it snorted and didn't say anything else. The barbarian race's ancestor waved his hand and laughed. He naturally didn't mind this. In the insect race's territory, the flames of war interweaved. The ground was full of potholes, and many ancient buildings had been destroyed. A great battle had ended, and the insect race had been wiped out. Lin Tian and the barbarian race's ancestor paused for a moment. Then, just as the whooshing crocodile had said, they walked into the depths of the insect race's territory. They opened the ancient buildings and took out treasures. Most of them were intertwined with colorful lights. Clang! A stone door was pushed open. There were many precious weapons on display. All of them were shining with cold light. They let out clanging sounds on their own, emitting an incomparably fierce, murderous aura. Lin Tian glanced around and found that there were 5 middle-grade Dao weapons, dozens of high-grade immortal weapons, and more than 100 middle-grade and low-grade immortal weapons. There were even more precious weapons of other grades. Let's go to the next place, the barbarian race's ancestor said. Not long after, they opened the insect race's scripture vault. There were many precious skills of the insect race inside. However, none of them were suitable for humans to practice. In the end, they were all burned by the barbarian race's army. There were many pavilions in the insect race's inner court. Not long after, another hall was opened. Inside, there was a rich interweaving of directions. This was the insect race's pill storage. Inside, there were all kinds of precious pills and herbs, most of which were extraordinary. Body-strengthening pill, marrow-cleansing pill, knowledge accumulation pill. He glanced around. Many of the Baodan were very valuable and had amazing effects. Lin Tian's gaze moved and suddenly fell on a small medicine bottle in the innermost part of the pill vault. This medicine bottle was half an inch tall. There were 2 blood-red Baodan inside. They were the size of a thumb. Lin Tian's gaze was immediately attracted. Blood God Pill. He shuddered slightly. The Blood God Pill was a 7th-grade lower Baodan. It could temporarily increase one's cultivation and combat strength and stimulate divine power. The effect was more powerful and shocking than the Blood God Pill that Gu Jinshin had taken when he was in the Emergence Gate. It was a forbidden Baodan. It was called a forbidden Baodan because the increase in cultivation and combat strength was only temporary. There would be serious side effects. After the effect of the Baodan was over, it would be difficult to move for at least 3 days. It would also be accompanied by bone-piercing pain. Lin Tian had inherited the master apothecary's medicine canon and divine skills. Naturally, he recognized this Baodan immediately. This grade of treasured pill was only useful for those below the 3rd level of the Great Dao realm. After all, it was only an inferior grade 7th-tier alchemical pill. He estimated that with his current cultivation level, after consuming a single Blood God Pill, his cultivation level should be able to rise to the 1st level of the Great Dao realm. The whooshing crocodile raised its head and looked over. It seemed to be that kind of pill. It was very knowledgeable and naturally recognized this Baodan. It only glanced at it and did not pay much attention to it. Lin Tian walked over, took the small medicine bottle, and carefully put it away. Next place, continue, the Wuxing crocodile said. The group continued to go deeper into the insect territory. They opened one palace after another and found countless treasures. After all, the insect territory had been passed down for a long time. After such a long time, there would naturally be many good things in the insect territory. Crack! When another treasure vault was opened, the inside was shining brightly. An extremely rich spiritual energy fluctuation spread out. It was all Lingjing. Lin Tian roughly glanced at it. There were about 700,000 jin. It's slightly stronger than the 3 dynasties of the third heaven. He muttered to himself. Hundreds of thousands of jin of Lingjing. If it was in the past, it would be a huge treasure to him. However, seeing it now, he did not have much of a reaction. To the current him, 700,000 jin of Lingjing was no longer a big deal. Not long after, the group rummaged through the various great halls of the insect territory and found many extraordinary treasures. In the end, treasure weapons, Baodan, Lingjing, medicinal herbs, and other rare treasures were all taken out and placed together, piling up into a small mountain that emitted a bright light. The barbarian ancestor looked at Lin Tian and said, "This time, little friend Lin and the others took the lead and blocked the insect territory's invasion. Therefore, we will split these treasures 50-50. Lin Tian shook his head and declined. This time, they were able to successfully eliminate the insect territory because of the barbarian race. If it weren't for the barbarian race, it would have been impossible for him, by Chiu, by Ziki, and Wuxing crocodile to come here. He didn't want these treasures. 50-50, it's settled." The barbarian ancestor waved his hand generously. Lin Tian still wanted to decline, but the barbarian ancestor and the great elder of the barbarian race were very firm, so he couldn't say anything. In the end, the barbarian ancestor and the great elder of the barbarian race equally divided the treasures of the insect territory, Baodan, Lingjing, and other treasures. Such a small race, there's no good treasure. Wuxing crocodile curled its lips. To it, who had once reached the peak of the Nirvana realm, the accumulation of the insect territory was really nothing. Lin Tian listened to its words and didn't say anything. He casually glanced at the dilapidated land of the insect territory's main race. The barbarian ancestor and the others also looked around. Many barbarian race cultivators were still roaring. Clearly, they felt very relieved. "We've vented our anger. Now we're just short of finding that child, Hero," the great elder of the barbarian race said. The barbarian ancestor and the other great Dao realm experts of the barbarian race nodded silently. There was worry between their brows. "Hero will definitely be fine. After returning to the tribe, send more people to search for him. I'll go too," the third elder of the barbarian race said. Lin Tian nodded and said to the barbarian race experts, "After this, I'll also try my best to find Hero's whereabouts." Fanning Xiong was his friend, and his whereabouts were unknown because of him. He naturally wanted to find him. The barbarian ancestor and the others nodded at Lin Tian to express their gratitude. "Thank you, young friend." Lin Tian shook his head and said, "Seniors, you're too polite. This is what I should, boom." Right at this moment, powerful fluctuations of the great Tao appeared in the distant sky. Over 20 figures rushed over, all of them with powerful vitality. In the blink of an eye, they appeared in front of them. Their eyes were shrouded in killing intent, causing the great elder and the others to be moved. Lin Tian's eyes narrowed, and a glint flashed through them. These 20 figures were all great Tao realm experts. Among them, there were people from the Bone race, the Sorcerer race, the Blood Wolf race, the Dark Shadow race, the Ant race, the Sea race, and the Stone God race. "Kid, they're here to seek revenge," Wuxing crocodile said. Chapter 768. Lin Tian followed the barbarian tribe army and charged towards the insect tribe's main territory. He did not conceal himself along the way, and many cultivators saw him. Then, the news naturally spread out, and the Stone Deity clan and other elites found out about it. At this moment, The elites of these large clans had arrived. The Stone Deity Clan, Sea Clan, Bone Clan, and Sorcerer Clan each had 4 great Dao elites. The Ant Clan, Dark Shadow Clan, and Blood Wolf Clan each had 3 great Dao elites. The auras they exuded were very powerful, and the fluctuations of the great Dao were very rich. What a great lineup. It's even better than the last time we went to that palace. Whooshing Crocodile muttered. Lin Tian looked at the dozens of great Dao elites from the large clans, and a cold glint flashed in his eyes. He did not say anything. Bai Ziki and Bai Qiu naturally did not say anything either. They already knew about the enmity between Lin Tian and the large clans, so they were not surprised by the scene before them. Moreover, there were Sea Clan elites among them. They knew why the other party had come. The barbarian tribe army was shocked, but they also knew why the great Dao elites from the large clans had come here. At this moment, they all clenched the weapons in their hands tightly. The Stone Deity Clan and other elites rushed here. When they saw the dilapidated land inside the insect tribe's territory, they were all shocked. The insect tribe had actually been completely wiped out. However, the dozens of elites were only shocked for a moment before they regained their senses. Their faces were filled with killing intent. Beast! These people charged to this place almost at the same time, and their eyes were cold and cruel. Among them, the eyes of the Stone Deity Clan and other large clans fell on Lin Tian. Only the 3 great Dao elites from the Sea Clan stared at the 3 people and the crocodile. The hostility in their eyes was very strong. Some time ago, the 3 people and the crocodile set up a dense killing formation and killed the genius saint of their lineage, as well as the 3 great Dao elites who went with them. In the end, even the first Grand Elder of their clan who rushed over after sensing the abnormality was killed on that island. This made them extremely angry. Even if I extract your meridians and pull out your bones, it won't be enough to vent my anger. A Sea Clan elite gritted his teeth. At this moment, a total of 25 great Dao realm experts had arrived, and all of them were filled with killing intent. Their combined aura was really too powerful and terrifying. The gazes of the 4 great Dao realm experts from the Stone God clan were extremely venomous. To think that he dared to do this to a genius of our clan. Their clan saint had died in Lin Tian's hands some time ago. The 2 grand elders who went with him were also killed. Later on, they heard that there was a great killing formation in that place, and that Lin Tian was in control of that killing formation. Then, they realized that Lin Tian had relied on that killing formation to kill their clan's genius and 2 great Dao cultivators. No matter what kind of underhanded methods you have, you must die today, an expert from the Bone Clan said. At this time, dozens of great path cultivators directly pressed toward Lin Tian, all of them full of killing intent. When they gathered together, their killing intent was so strong that they even ignored the barbarian army in this place. Their auras were extremely ferocious. Lin Tian stared at these dozens of people. Light flashed in his eyes, and there was no fear in them. Bai Ziki stared ahead, and wisps of lightning interweaved on the surface of his body. At this moment, there was a bang, and the void trembled. The barbarian tribe's 3rd elder stepped out and shouted at the dozens of people, "What do you want?" This barbarian tribe's 3rd elder naturally knew why these people were here. However, he didn't care. Lin Tian and the others had joined the barbarian tribe in their expedition against the insect tribe and were regarded as friends. Naturally, they couldn't just stand by and watch. Barbarians, get lost. This has nothing to do with you barbarians. Don't bring disaster to your clan for no reason. The great Dao realm expert from the Stone God clan said coldly. As one of the 3 top factions in this region, the Stone God clan naturally didn't care about the barbarian tribe cultivators who were also great Dao realm experts. The barbarian tribe's 3rd elder had a fiery temper. How could he be threatened like this? Disaster? Do you think I'm scared? The great Dao realm expert from the Stone God clan had a cold look in his eyes. You're courting death. Staring at the barbarian tribe's 3rd elder, the 4 great Dao realm experts from the Stone God clan had killing intent in their eyes. Who did you say was courting death? A cold snort rang out. The barbarian tribe's patriarch stepped out. His Enlightenment realm aura instantly spread out, causing the great Tao realm experts from the Stone God clan to tremble. Facing this Enlightenment realm patriarch from the barbarian tribe, the four great Tao realm experts from the Stone God clan were a little wary. However, they weren't afraid. With cold expressions, they said, "The barbarian tribe wants to protect him? You want to become enemies with our tribe? You'd better think carefully. The barbarian tribe wants to become enemies with our bone tribe? You want to be attacked by several large clans at the same time? If you protect him now, you're declaring war on several large clans at the same time," the experts from the bone tribe said coldly. The barbarian tribe's patriarch snorted and said the same thing as the barbarian tribe's third elder. "Do you think I'm scared?" The old ancestor of the Berserker race appeared very domineering in the face of the great Tao cultivators from several great clans. He did not back down in the slightest when he heard them say that protecting Lin Tian was the same as declaring war on several great clans. "We're not afraid. Young brother Lin is our comrade. We will never abandon our comrade. If you want to fight, then fight." The barbarian tribe army roared at this moment. The dozens of savage beasts also roared loudly. These barbarian tribe cultivators were very wild and hot-blooded. Facing several large clans, they weren't afraid at all. The expressions of the great Tao realm experts from the Stone God clan instantly turned gloomy. Clearly, they didn't expect that the barbarian tribe would be so unyielding at this moment for Lin Tian. At this moment, there were enlightened realm experts among the barbarian tribe. They couldn't act rashly. After all, if an enlightened realm expert attacked, they wouldn't be able to resist at all. Lin Tian clenched his fists slightly. In the face of these experts from several large clans, the barbarian tribe didn't hesitate at all. Even if they risked being attacked by several large clans at the same time in the future, they still wanted to protect him. This moved him deeply. He took a deep breath and looked at the barbarian tribe's patriarch and the others. He bowed slightly and said, "Thank you, seniors. However, please don't get involved in the enmity between me and these large clans. This is a matter between me and them." He already accepted the barbarian tribe's good intentions. However, he couldn't drag the barbarian tribe into the enmity between him and several large clans because of this. That would destroy the barbarian tribe. The barbarian tribe's patriarch naturally knew what Lin Tian was thinking. He immediately wanted to tell Lin Tian not to worry, but Lin Tian waved his hand and interrupted him. Lin Tian's expression was very calm as he looked at the great Tao realm experts from the Stone God clan, the Bone clan, and the others. There wasn't a hint of fear on his face. Regardless of whether it's the Stone God clan, the Bone clan, the Sorcerer clan, the Ant clan, the Dark Shadow clan, the Blood Wolf clan, or the Sea clan, when you charge over, you will all be jumping into a dead end, just like last time. He waved his right hand, and a small medicine bottle appeared. Inside it were 2 blood-red Baodan pills that were as red as agates. They were inferior 7th-grade blood god pills. Blood god pills? The dozens of great Tao realm experts from the Bone clan recognized them. This is the will of the heavens. The heavens seem to know that you're going to attack, so they purposely asked me to find these Baodan pills here to deal with you. Lin Tian Dao. Without hesitation, he took out a blood god pill and swallowed it. The Baodan melted as soon as it entered his mouth. A burning sensation flowed down his throat and into his stomach. Instantly, he felt his body tremble, and his aura began to rise. In an instant, he rushed from the 7th heaven of the reaching immortal realm to the 1st heaven of the great Tao realm. The whooshing crocodile lay on top of Lin Tian's head. At this moment, it could clearly feel Lin Tian's strength. His divine power was as vast as the ocean. The barbarian clan patriarch and the others were also shocked. They didn't expect Lin Tian to consume the blood god pill that he had obtained previously and forcefully reach the great Tao realm. In the next moment, these barbarian clan experts frowned slightly. Lin Tian had consumed the blood god pill and reached the 1st heaven of the great Tao realm. Although his combat strength was much stronger, there was still a huge gap between him and 25 true Great Tao Realm experts at the same time. These people's eyes were filled with worry. You're the only one who managed to reach the first heaven of the Great Tao Realm with an external medicine. You're only at the first heaven of the Great Tao Realm. What's the big deal? An expert from the Stone God clan said emotionlessly. This is good too. We can torture him more so that he won't be killed instantly. An expert from the Sorcerer clan said sinisterly. Dozens of Great Tao Realm experts approached step by step with killing intent. At this moment, Lin Tian's aura was much stronger. He felt as if there was an endless amount of energy in his body. Facing more than 20 Great Tao Realm experts approaching him, he didn't care at all. At this moment, Baiziki stepped over. There was no expression on his face as he stretched out his hand. His intention couldn't be more obvious. He wanted the last blood god pill. Lin Tian was slightly stunned. Then he smiled and raised his hand. He threw the last blood god pill over. Baiziki caught the blood god pill and consumed it. Instantly, the aura emitted from his body skyrocketed like Lin Tian's. In the blink of an eye, he reached the peak of the first heaven of the Great Tao Realm. The two of them stood side by side. Lin Tian's body was surrounded by golden light, while Baiziki's body was surrounded by lightning. Their slender bodies were tall and straight like two divine mountains. Ruffian crocodile, go to the side and wait. Lin Tian on Dao. F***CK. Brat, we may be close, but don't slander your lord crocodile. Wuxing crocodile scolded. However, he still flew up from Lin Tian's head and landed on Bai Chio's head. Bai Chio stared ahead, slightly worried. Wuxing crocodile could clearly sense that Bai Chio was worried about the two of them. He said, "Young lady, don't worry. Lin Tian is a freak, and so is your brother. Even though they entered the first heaven of the Great Tao Realm through medicine, they are still far stronger than ordinary Great Tao Realm experts." In front, the divine light around Lin Tian and Baiziki's bodies became stronger. The power of the Blood God Pill was completely revealed. A Great Tao Realm expert from the Stone God clan had a cold look in his eyes. So, what if there's one more person? Previously, he was only at the first heaven of the Great Tao and didn't have any Tao laws. With such great Tao level strength, what can he do? Dozens of experts stepped forward, not taking the two of them seriously at all. Facing these people, the two of them didn't show any emotion. "I can kill all of you," Lin Tian on Dao. His voice was very calm, as if he was stating a fact. This caused the eyes of the 25 Great Tao Realm experts to turn cold, and the killing intent in their eyes became even more intense. What a sharp-tongued thing. The Stone God clan expert's voice was vicious, and he instantly rushed over. "Fellow Taoist, be careful of that purple-robed young man with lightning intertwining around his body. Hand him over to my clan to deal with," a sea-race expert said. This lineage knew about Baiziki's strength and wanted to seize Baiziki's sovereign physique source. Boom! In an instant, dozens of great Tao-level waves surged and pressed down on Lin Tian and Baiziki, causing the black hair in front of their foreheads to dance wildly. However, facing such a violent aura, the two of them still didn't show any expression. White pig head, let's see who can kill more. Chapter 769. Lin Tian's words could be said to be very provocative. He did not take the Stone God clan and the other Great Tao Realm cultivators seriously at all. Instead, it was as if he saw these people as prey. This made the dozens of Great Tao Realm cultivators furious, and their killing intent soared. It was also at this time that Baiziki opened his mouth and responded to Lin Tian. He spat out a simple word, "Okay." Instantly, the dozens of Great Tao Realm cultivators were even more furious. These two were so arrogant, completely looking down on them. Two ants. The group's killing intent soared. A rumbling sound reverberated. In the next moment, the dozens of people all moved, charging toward the two at the same time. Lin Tianling smiled. After taking the Blood God Pill, the divine power in his body became incomparably abundant, and his cultivation level temporarily rose to the first heaven of the great Tao. He felt that his abilities in all aspects had taken a huge leap. Although it is far inferior to the divine talisman that the old guy gave me last time, it is still powerful enough. When he was in the third heaven, an old drunkard had once used his own power to condense a divine talisman for him, helping him temporarily increase his battle prowess. At this time, after taking the blood god pill, he was far inferior to that time. However, facing these dozens of great Tao realm cultivators, he did not feel the slightest pressure. Boom! With a rumble, the golden divine light around his body soared. In the next moment, like a golden bolt of lightning, his speed was so fast that it was difficult to see with the naked eye. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of a great Tao realm cultivator from the Stone God clan, who was charging at the front. This great Tao realm cultivator from the Stone God clan was at the second heaven of the great Tao realm. Instantly, his expression changed, and he quickly retreated. You boom! A golden fist pressed down from the sky, shattering and crushing everything in its path. Nothing could stop it. The golden fist seemed to be condensed from the sun, intertwined with invincible battle prowess. With one punch, it shattered this great Tao realm cultivator from the Stone God clan. At the same time, a black and white lotus petal streaked across Lin Tian's forehead. It was also extremely fast. With his current great Tao battle prowess, it instantly shattered his opponent's divine spirit. Such a scene caused everyone's expression to change. It was too fast. In just an instant, a great Tao realm cultivator from the Stone God clan was killed on the spot. Ah! A scream came from another direction. Baiziki's mighty lightning filled the sky and drowned out a sea tribe cultivator of the second heaven of the great Tao. The lightning was the divine thunder of origin of his king body. It directly turned his opponent's body and spirit into ash. Everyone was stunned. Even the great ancestors of the barbarians in the Enlightenment realm could not help but widen their eyes. In the blink of an eye, Lin Tian and Baiziki had each killed a great path cultivator. These two, the barbarian tribe's great elder's heart trembled as he looked ahead. Lin Tian and Baiziki were not tall and slender, but at that moment, their methods caused one's heart to tremble. They had only used medicine to forcefully reach the first tier of the great Tao realm, but they were able to instantly kill a powerful cultivator from the older generation who had truly stepped into the great Tao realm many years ago. Just how astonishing was this? How invincible was that? The Stone God clan and the other large clans had sent 25 great Tao cultivators. In the blink of an eye, only 23 were left. Staring at Lin Tian and Baiziki, these 23 people could not help but feel their hearts tremble. It was not that they were afraid at this moment, but that their bodies had given birth to this kind of instinctive reaction. Golden divine light intertwined around Lin Tian's body. He looked at the 23 people with a very calm expression, and there was a hint of disdain in his eyes. There are geniuses and trash in this world. I have never thought of myself as a genius, but he looked at the 23 great Tao realm cultivators and said mercilessly, "All of you are absolute trash." These words were very calm, so calm that they were emotionless. They were filled with naked contempt and mockery, causing the dozens of great Tao realm cultivators to be enraged. Flames almost materialized in their eyes, and green veins were popping out on their foreheads. Arrogant little b***** starred. Kill. I'll make you suffer a fate worse than death. At this moment, among them, the Stone God clan had even forgotten that a great Tao realm cultivator had died in their clan. The Ocean clan had also forgotten this point, and their killing intent was extremely strong. Up until now, they had been able to step into the great Tao realm. All of them had experienced countless battles, and in the past, they were also known as geniuses. But now, Lin Tian was looking down on them mercilessly, calling them absolute trash. This caused them to fly into a rage, and their killing intent was extremely dense. Boom! At this moment, dozens of people actually charged towards Lin Tian. Dense waves of divine power intertwined around their bodies. Lin Tian sneered. He was fearless and did not make any unnecessary movements. He simply waved his iron fist. The golden fist light crushed the sky and shattered everything. It caused the space to crackle and crack. It was as if it was made of porcelain, and cracks were instantly everywhere. At the same time, a cold voice rang out, accompanied by waves of thunderous sounds. "Do you take me for a decoration?" Boom! A thick bolt of purple lightning descended from the sky, drowning out a great Dao cultivator from the Ant clan, directly destroying his body and soul. The might of the Thunder God's physique was extremely domineering. Lin Tian tilted his head and looked over. He could not help but laugh loudly. Baiziki's battle prowess was too strong. "You kill two, I kill one. How can I fall behind?" He laughed somewhat maniacally. With a boom, a divine power light sword condensed in his hand. The sword will of the towering Heaven Sword Manual was overwhelming, and it directly pierced through the glabella of a great Dao realm cultivator from the Dark Shadow tribe, shattering his consciousness. Even his spirit and body were shattered within. "We're even now. Then I'll overtake you," he said again. With a swoosh, he stepped on the fifth tier of the yin and yang row, turning into a bolt of golden lightning and closing in on a great Dao realm cultivator from the Blood Wolf tribe. He clenched his left fist and directly smashed the other party into pieces. Then, he used the yin-yang lotus sea to crush his spirit. "I'll take 3, you take 2. He looked toward Baiziki. Baiziki's eyes narrowed, and the lightning outside his body became even stronger, rumbling loudly. Boom! In the end, the void couldn't withstand such divine might. With a crack, it shattered, and spatial turbulence poured out. Amidst the lightning, Baiziki was like the god of thunder, surveying the world. With a single step, 10,000 lightning bolts moved, drowning another great Dao realm cultivator from the Sea tribe. Ah! A tragic cry rang out, and this great Dao realm cultivator from the Sea tribe was drowned. His spirit and body didn't manage to escape and were shattered by Ziki's divine thunder of origin. Ziki glanced at Lin Tianyi and took a step forward, appearing in front of a Dark Shadow tribe cultivator who was closest to him. He raised his godless palm, and with a poof, he smacked the cultivator into pieces. Then, a sky full of purple lightning came crashing down. Ah! An ear-piercing scream with hints of terror rang out. The second great Dao realm cultivator from the Dark Shadow tribe was killed, and his spirit and body were destroyed. A gleam flashed in Lin Tian's eyes, and the duality puppet flashed. His right hand swung out a towering sword light, and his left hand swung out a golden iron fist, shattering the void and collapsing the firmament. Another great Dao realm cultivator from the Blood Wolf tribe was blasted into pieces, and blood stained the void. Stop, don't kill. Ah! The black and white yin-yang lotus sword condensed and formed under Lin Tian's will, shattering the other party's spirit and body. He let out a cold laugh, stared at the last Blood Wolf tribe cultivator, and took a step forward. "The fifth one," he said coldly. This voice was cold and merciless, causing the last Blood Wolf tribe cultivator to immediately tremble fiercely. Under Lin Tian's ferocious might, he couldn't help but take a step back, and with this step, he was isolated from the world. Clang! Piercing sword light cut through eternity, and with a poof, it pierced through the center of his brows. A stretch of black and white lotus petals intertwined, and even his spirit and body were wiped out completely. Boom! Thunder rumbled, and the aura outside by Ziki's body became even stronger. The divine thunder of origin condensed into a 5-foot-tall thunder beast, and with a puff, it swallowed the last great Dao realm cultivator from the Dark Shadow tribe, directly annihilating him. The two of them looked at each other, and a gleam flashed in their eyes as they charged towards the next enemy. Clang! Boom! The sound of swords and thunder swept through the sky, shattering the firmament and shattering the earth, turning this place into a sea of swords and thunder. The moment the battle began, the barbarian tribe army left this place far away and cleared out a battlefield. At this moment, all of them were staring at this place, and all of them were dumbfounded. All of the burly men had their mouths and eyes wide open. Whoosh! The barbarian tribe's patriarch pinched his sparse beard and accidentally broke a strand. The great elder of the barbarian tribe and the others also seemed to have been petrified. They stared ahead in a daze, as if their souls had been taken away by the Grim Reaper. At this moment, the barbarian tribe army, the few great Tao realm cultivators of the barbarian tribe, and the patriarch of the barbarian tribe were all speechless. Originally, the barbarian tribe's patriarch and the grand supreme elders of the barbarian tribe were worried about Lin Tian and Baiziki. After all, there were 25 great Tao realm cultivators from the Stone Deity clan, and they were all older generation cultivators who had stepped into the great Tao realm for many years. They had rich combat experience. On the other hand, Lin Tian and Baiziki had relied on medicine to forcibly raise their strength to the great Tao realm. Their combat experience was lacking compared to the 20 or so older generation cultivators. They felt that the difference in combat strength between the two sides should be huge, so they had been watching the battle cautiously. However, the current situation shocked them greatly. Lin Tian and Baiziki were like two gods, completely suppressing the 25 great Tao realm cultivators from the Stone Deity clan. The two of them charged into the midst of the 25 great Tao realm cultivators, and their valiance was unstoppable. They were actually competing with each other in battle to see who could kill more enemies. In the blink of an eye, they had killed 10 great Tao realm cultivators from the other side. At this moment, even the old monster whooshing crocodile couldn't help but gulp. These two monsters, Bai Qiu shrunk his neck. Even though he knew that Lin Tian and his brother were very powerful, he didn't expect the two of them to be so ferocious at this moment. Clang! The sound of a sword whistling was ear-piercing, and a golden iron fist shook the heavens. Lin Tian was like a divine king descending into the world, killing a shaman tribe cultivator. "I have 6 now." He laughed loudly, and the black hair on his forehead danced wantonly in the strong wind. These words were undoubtedly said for Baiziki to hear. Baiziki's eyes shone brightly, and like Lin Tian, he punched out with his bare hands. Another violent lightning beast charged out. It had the appearance of an immortal python, and it swallowed a great Tao realm cultivator from the ant tribe. Even his divine spirit was annihilated by it. Lin Tian swept a glance over, and the momentum of his attacks became even stronger. Baiziki didn't say a single word, and his attacks were even stronger. At this moment, the two of them were like demon lords, but also like celestial kings. Their divine might was unshakable, and their actions were like that of supreme beings. You two, the great Tao realm cultivators from the Stone Deity clan who were still alive were shocked, enraged, and terrified. Their 25 great Tao realm cultivators had come together, but now 12 of them had been killed in the blink of an eye. At this moment, Lin Tian and Baiziki didn't treat them as opponents at all. Instead, they were purely treating them as prey. Chapter 770. 25 great Tao realm experts charged over together, but 12 of them were killed in the blink of an eye. This caused the remaining 13 people who were still alive to involuntarily tremble. At this moment, they looked at Lin Tian and Baiziki, feeling fear. Use divine abilities. Use divine abilities to suppress them. A great Tao expert from the Stone God race roared. Don't let them get close. Attack from afar. An expert from the Bone race shouted. The 13 of them retreated at the same time, widening the distance between them and Lin Tian and Baiziki. At the same time, they executed the great techniques of their race. For a time, terrifying killing intent interweaved in this space, causing the void to shatter. Kill! The 13 of them roared, and the divine abilities and techniques they executed were all extraordinary. In an instant, a large part of the void collapsed, and a terrifying destructive force pressed down toward the two of them. Lin Tian stepped on the duality robe, and with a buzz, he propped up a stone plate. This was a superior grade Dao weapon that he had snatched from the stone god race's saint. At this moment, he propped up this superior grade Dao weapon and passed through the destructive force. He directly used this superior grade Dao weapon to press down on a great Dao realm expert from the bone race. Yoopht! Blood splattered in the air, and this great Dao realm expert from the bone race exploded. Then, the yin-yang lotus petal met him, shattering his spirit body by a hair's breadth. "I'm 7," he said. Facing the dozen or so great Dao experts, he didn't care at all. It was as if they were just blades of grass, as if they were just pieces of tofu. He held up the superior grade Dao weapon stone plate and directly pressed it toward the last 12 experts. Baiziki's eyes narrowed. With a boom, he propped up a mystic iron seal. Vast and mighty thunderbolts filled the sky, tearing apart the divine light screen of a great Dao realm expert from the ant race. The mystic iron seal landed fiercely on his chest, shattering it on the spot. Rumble! A bolt of divine thunder of origin pressed down, drowning his spirit body that had rushed up and crushing it. After killing this person, Baiziki turned his head and looked at the sea race great Dao realm expert who was closest to him. "You want it?" Boom! Thunder rumbled, suppressing the voice of the sea race's great Dao expert. Baiziki's expression was cold. He used the high-grade Dao soldier level profound metal seal to crush this oceanic race expert. Then, he used the divine thunder origin to destroy his soul. Almost at the same time, a scream rang out from the other side as another bone race master was killed by Lin Tian. In the blink of an eye, 25 great Dao realm experts had arrived. The 3 from the Blood Wolf tribe were all wiped out, the 3 from the Dark Shadow tribe were all wiped out, and the 3 from the Ant tribe were all wiped out. Only the Stone God tribe was left with 3, the Shaman tribe was left with 3, the Bone tribe was left with 2, and the Sea tribe was left with 1. Out of the 25 great Dao experts, 16 were slain in the span of a few dozen breaths. Only 9 remained. These 2 fellows are 2F * King Savage. Whooshing Crocodile glared at him. Bai Chio shrunk his neck again. So fierce. The barbarian tribe's progenitor accidentally broke another strand of his beard, but he did not feel any pain. On the other hand, the barbarian army was even more stunned. "Are they gods?" Someone murmured. Their powerful strength and shocking methods caused everyone to be deeply shocked. However, there were still 9 people alive, and the battle did not stop. "I will be the one to win." Lin Tiandao. Clanging sounds rang out incessantly as he used his divine light sword to perform the towering heaven sword manual. The sword ray was shocking, shaking the heavens and the earth. "It's me!" It was rare for Baiziki to say these 2 words. Lightning surrounded his body, and it was as though he was the god of thunder who had descended to the world. Puff! Puff! Almost at the same time, a great Dao expert from the Sea tribe and a great Dao expert from the Shaman tribe were respectively crushed by 2 Dao soldiers of higher grades. Then, they used their own special methods to wipe out the other party's spirit body. In the blink of an eye, the 25 great Dao experts charged over, and only 7 were left. Dao Law used the power of great Dao to deal with them. A 4th heaven great Dao expert from the Stone God tribe roared. With a rumble, this person took the lead to activate the Dao Law. The void began to distort in an irregular manner. It was not because of a powerful force that caused the space to distort, but because of the power of Dao. This power of Dao could distort everything in the world. Wang. On the other side, the other 6 great Dao experts also made their moves, displaying their own Dao laws. 7 different laws of the Great Path interweaved in this space, as if it had turned into an ocean of Dao in an instant. The fluctuations caused many of the barbarian tribe cultivators to tremble involuntarily. They were shocked by the tyrannical power of Dao laws. The black hair in front of Lin Tian's forehead flowed. Even when the Dao Law power came pressing down, he was still not afraid. He did not even have the slightest scruple. Boom! The sound of thunder was ear-piercing, reverberating in all directions. Not far from him, behind Baiziki, a sea of lightning appeared, and a large thunder palace intertwined. In an instant, an even more terrifying power of lightning appeared, and another power emerged, spreading out in a mighty manner. When this scene appeared, the remaining Bone Tribe, Stone God Tribe, and Shaman Tribe cultivators all changed their expressions. Their eyes flickered violently, as though they had seen a ghost. The Barbarian Tribe ancestor broke off a strand of his beard for the third time. Divine Rumble Palace. He has the Thunder God physique? Thunder God physique. A king physique. The one who fought side by side with us, this young man he has a king physique? The other supreme elders of the Barbarian Tribe were all shocked. These older cultivators naturally recognized the divine Rumble Palace of the king's territory. Their gazes fell on Baiziki. Boom! The divine Rumble Palace shook. Baiziki was now activating it with the power of the great Tao level. The power it exuded could really shatter everything. It shattered the Tao law power that was pressing down on him. Then, the divine Rumble Palace enveloped a cultivator of the Sorcerer Tribe. No, stop, poof! The cultivator of the Sorcerer Tribe exploded. His body collapsed, and his spiritual soul shattered. He was annihilated in the divine Rumble Palace of the king's territory. Baiziki's expression was cold. After holding up the divine Rumble Palace, he had a great majesty. After killing the cultivator of the Sorcerer Tribe, he did not stop. He directly used the divine Rumble Palace to suppress the cultivator of the great Tao of the Bone Tribe. His identity as a king physique had been exposed to the Sea Clan. It would be exposed sooner or later. Therefore, he naturally did not care about anything now. He used the king's territory to suppress the cultivator of the Bone Tribe. After enveloping him, he killed him cleanly. Lin Tian tilted his head and looked. A smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Buzz! He quickly formed a seal. The reincarnation map rushed up from behind him. As soon as it appeared, it emitted a vast divine light. When such a divine map appeared, the Barbarian Tribe Patriarch and the others were shocked again. They felt that the power emitted by this divine map was even stronger than by Ziki's divine Rumble Palace of the king's territory. The black hair in front of Lin Tian's forehead surged. Baiziki did not care about exposing his king physique at this time, because it had already been exposed. As for him, he did not need to be afraid. Except for dead people and Heavenly Lord level cultivators, no one could see through his reincarnation map. Boom! The reincarnation diagram burst out with a brilliant light, similarly shattering a stretch of the power of Tao laws, enveloping the two great Tao realm experts from the Stone God clan simultaneously. The divine diagram shook, shattering the two of them. Even their divine souls and bodies were annihilated within it. The reincarnation map of the king's territory had invincible divine might. This kid, what exactly is this thing? It doesn't feel like a divine ability. How can it be so powerful? Wuxing Crocodile was really puzzled. This guy has too many secrets. I can't even dig them all out. Bai Chio whispered. The Barbarian Tribe army was in a daze as they stared at the divine map that Lin Tian was holding up. It was too powerful, too invincible. In front, on the battlefield, only 3 of the 25 Great Tao Realm cultivators were left. There was a 4th Firmament Great Tao Realm cultivator from the Stone God clan, a 3rd Firmament Great Tao Realm cultivator from the Bone Tribe, and a 3rd Firmament Great Tao Realm cultivator from the Sorcerer Tribe. We can't stop them. The Great Tao Realm cultivator from the Bone Tribe was horrified. As far as the eye could see, the divine map hovered above Lin Tian's head, and the divine Roar Palace behind Baiziki were both terrifyingly powerful. Cold sweat trickled down the forehead of the last cultivator from the Sorcerer Tribe. In the next moment, he let out a loud roar and fled into the distance. Almost at the same time, the Great Tao Realm cultivator from the Bone Tribe also did the same thing. He fled? Someone from the Barbarian Tribe was stunned. Lin Tian and Baiziki tilted their heads, and a murderous glint flashed in their eyes. With a buzz, the reincarnation map above Lin Tian's head was as fast as lightning. It was as though it had crossed the distance of time and space. In an instant, It enveloped the escaping cultivator from the sorcerer tribe and directly crushed him into a bloody mist, destroying his divine soul and body. At the same time, in the divine roar palace of the king region, behind Baiziki, a lightning figure stood up and slashed forward across the air. Poof! In the distance, the escaping cultivator from the bone tribe exploded, his divine soul and body destroyed. You are 12, and I am 12. Even. Lin Tiandao tilted his head and looked at the battlefield. Just like him, Baiziki also looked over. At this moment, there was only one great Dao realm cultivator from the stone god tribe left. At this moment, when he met the gazes of the two of them, he couldn't help but tremble violently. His eyes were instantly filled with fear. Well, let me go. Otherwise, my tribe will definitely not let you guys off. The stone god tribe cultivator said in a trembling voice. Even though he was at the fourth heaven of the great Dao realm, his eyes were filled with fear at this moment. Lin Tian tilted his head and looked over. His eyes flickered as he activated the reincarnation map and directly pressed down. Mine? Boom! Lightning rumbled, and purple light shook the world. Baiziki took a step forward, and the vast lightning that filled the sky descended, enveloping a part of the void. Mine. The two of them moved at the same time, each activating the king region and pressing down on the stone god tribe cultivator. Then, the two great king region pressured in front of the stone god tribe cultivator at the same time. White pig, get out of the way! Lin Tiandao. The reincarnation map of the king region shone even brighter, enveloping the void in all directions. Mine! Baiziki still said the same two words, not backing down at all. The two of them charged forward, fighting for the priority to kill this cultivator from the Stone God clan. Then they both attacked each other. The golden sword aura and the purple lightning collided, causing the void to crack inch by inch. A violent hurricane swept out in all directions. The barbarian tribe cultivators were all stunned. They couldn't help but open their mouths, but couldn't say a single word. The eyes of the barbarian tribe's patriarch were wide open, and the barbarian tribe's great elder and the others were also in a daze. In their vision, after a great battle, Lin Tian and Baiziki each killed 12 great Dao realm cultivators. Now there was only one person left. Therefore, in order to determine who killed more enemies, the two of them actually started to fight and compete with each other. What two warmongers? That you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.